Today, I'm so excited that Business MuMu Conference is starting off live, and it's a great pleasure to have you all here. I want to appreciate everyone who has worked behind the scene, everyone who has worked on the scene, everyone everywhere who has done everything possible to make sure that we have this event. I want to appreciate everybody, and this is Africa. It's a pleasure to have you. It's a pleasure to, you know, really uh, welcome everybody from around Africa. At the moment, I think I'm excited that today is coming alive. I'm excited that today is a success already. We've got a lot of plans for you. We've got a lot of speakers from around the world that are actually Africa minded, and they are great people who are going to be relating with us. One of those things that has made them to be able to stand out, from their own strong points. Those things that have been able to make them to stand out in their different field and industry. Africa, it's your time. Arise and shine. Empowering the African business gene. Empowering the African business gene. This is Business MuMu. All the way you have been with us at one point or the other. You have been part of our weekly live session, and then some way you must have been impacted by some of our sessions. And today and tomorrow we're going to be having it, put together from different angles, talking about how to start, what you need, the people you need, how to market yourself, everything like that. We're going to be doing in this conference, and I want you to not just come with your heart, of listening. I want you to come with your heart of readiness to learn, and getting everything possible that you need to be able to become part of the actors and not spectators in building the Africa of our dream. It's a great pleasure to have you today. I'm so excited about the fact that, okay, today is here already. A lot of expectations that we have, a lot of things that we want to happen. They're going to happen, and we are going to definitely beat your expectation. We've got the quality, we've got the substance, and then we are working every day to making sure that the form is even better than it was yesterday. Thank you so much. Today with me today, I'm going to be having my co-mod for this first session of the Business MuMu Conference, Victoria Innocent. She's already here. She will be joining with a video in a moment. And also we're going to be having Denu, our LinkedIn star, is going to be here to talk about what exactly Business MuMu means. I wish I would talk about it first, but I want him, I want to give him the honors of doing that, because he came close to the brand and he understood it so well that I felt very comfortable that, if somebody can understand this so well, apart from the people who even convene the platform, it means that this thing is quite possible for people, and it's a reality. Everybody likes it, when they get to know about it. Hey, this is it, and all of it like that. So everybody likes it. So I have that honor to invite him to also come around today and talk to us, especially about the brand. What Business MuMu means. That MuMu in the Business MuMu, people want to know it. Normally I should pronounce it as MuMu, but me myself, the MuMu is something I I easily find interesting to pronounce. The controversy is interesting. Everybody wants to say, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? So it's going to be a very great time today. And we are going to have everything possible. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you so much to everybody who has joined us. It's a pleasure. Okay, people are already joining us, and I'm excited about that already. Please do share the link. Just share this link straight away. Share this link with people wherever you are watching from. You are on YouTube, you're on Facebook, you are on LinkedIn. Just share the link with people and let them be part of this amazing sessions. Our speakers are ready for us, putting everything together. They have been able to come up with something very interesting for us that would impact us absolutely. And for this morning session, or is it morning now, this afternoon session, or the first session, we will not be able to engage the Instagram handle for us to have this session, but definitely we are going to also have that come up. And then later on Gist House, we're going to have the audio coming in, and they will have some nice time together. I want to just beckon on my co-moderator to please join me. Okay. So while we have that, let's enjoy ourselves a bit. Boom, boom.
Today, I want to tell you 3 stories from my life. That's it. No big deal. Just 3 stories. The first story is about connecting the dots. I dropped out of Reed College after the first 6 months, but then stayed around as a drop-in for another 18 months or so before I really quit. So why'd I drop out? It started before I was born. My biological mother was a young, unwed graduate student, and she decided to put me up for adoption. She felt very strongly that I should be adopted by college graduates, so everything was all set for me to be adopted at birth by a lawyer and his wife. Except that when I popped out, they decided at the last minute that they really wanted a girl. So my parents, who were on a waiting list, got a call in the middle of the night asking, "We've got an unexpected baby boy. Do you want him?" They said, "Of course." My biological mother found out later that my mother had never graduated from college and that my father had never graduated from high school. She refused to sign the final adoption papers. She only relented a few months later when my parents promised that I would go to college. This was the start in my life. And 17 years later, I did go to college. But I naively chose a college that was almost as expensive as Stanford. And all of my working class parents' savings were being spent on my college tuition. After 6 months, I couldn't see the value in it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and no idea how college was going to help me figure it out. And here I was, spending all the money my parents had saved their entire life. So I decided to drop out and trust that it would all work out okay. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. The minute I dropped out, I could stop taking the required classes that didn't interest me and begin dropping in on the ones that looked far more interesting. It wasn't all romantic. I didn't have a dorm room, so I slept on the floor in friends' rooms. I returned Coke bottles for the 5-cent deposits to buy food with. And I would walk the 7 miles across town every Sunday night to get one good meal a week at the Hare Krishna temple. I loved it. And much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless later on. Let me give you one example. Reed College at that time offered perhaps the best calligraphy instruction in the country. Throughout the campus, every poster, every label on every drawer was beautifully hand calligraphed. Because I had dropped out and didn't have to take the normal classes, I decided to take a calligraphy class to learn how to do this. I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces, about varying the amount of space between different letter combinations, about what makes great typography great. It was beautiful, historical, artistically subtle in a way that science can't capture, and I found it fascinating. None of this had even a hope of any practical application in my life. But 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back to me. And we designed it all into the Mac. It was the first computer with beautiful typography. If I had never dropped in on that single course in college, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts. And since Windows just copied the Mac, it's likely that no personal computer would have them. If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on that calligraphy class, and personal computers might not have the wonderful typography that they do. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path, and that will make all the difference. My second story is about love and loss. I was lucky. I found what I loved to do early in life. Woz and I started Apple in my parents' garage when I was 20. We worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the two of us in a garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. We just released our finest creation, the Macintosh, a year earlier, and I just turned 30. And then I got fired. How can you get fired from a company you started? Well, as Apple grew, we hired someone who I thought was very talented to run the company with me. And for the first year or so, things went well. But then our visions of the future began to diverge, and eventually we had a falling out. When we did, our board of directors sided with him. And so at 30, I was out, and very publicly out. What had been the focus of my entire adult life was gone, and it was devastating. I really didn't know what to do for a few months. I felt that I had let the previous generation of entrepreneurs down, that I had dropped the baton as it was being passed to me. I met with David Packard and Bob Noyce and tried to apologize for screwing up so badly. I was a very public failure, and I even thought about running away from the valley. But something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did. The turn of events at Apple had not changed that one bit. I'd been rejected, but I was still in love. And so I decided to start over. I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. During the next 5 years, I started a company named Next, another company named Pixar, and fell in love with an amazing woman who would become my wife. Pixar went on to create the world's first computer-animated feature film, Toy Story, and is now the most successful animation studio in the world. In a remarkable turn of events, Apple bought Next, and I returned to Apple, and the technology we developed at Next is at the heart of Apple's current renaissance. And Lorene and I have a wonderful family together. I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired from Apple. It was awful tasting medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love, and that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, and don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking, don't settle. My third story is about death. When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, "If you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most certainly be right." It made an impression on me, and since then, for the past 33 years, I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet, death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now, the new is you. But someday, not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away. Sorry to be so dramatic, but it's quite true. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Amazing. I just want to have that, brief intro. Technical issues from the end of, our first speaker for the day. I want to use this opportunity to welcome everybody again. Thank you so much. I see you in the comment section. Thank you so much. Please do share the link to this wherever you are watching us from, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube. Please do share the link of this with your friend. Just let them be part of this. It's free, to be part of this. It's an intentional conference actually prepared to move you from, how will I put it now? From being someone that does not have any clue, from cluelessness to, becoming an expert at building the African nation. And the tool we want to use is the tool of business. We don't just want to, shoot into the air. We want to aim at it, precisely. We have the missile that is just here for us to be able to, target it and say, you know what, let's do this. So it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have us today. While we wait for, our speakers to join us, they have technical issues at their hand. I quickly want to just tell you the burning desire I have for Africa and why I started the business MuMu, as a platform to help us reduce the mortality rate of businesses in Africa. When you look at it, critically, looking around Africa, you realize that we have a lot of stories, especially stories of burial. A lot of people, they die. I just lost my grandma, this week, and it's still painful to me. But we have to be here and do what we have to do. Stories of burial, stories of death, and all of these stories are not just stories that are just happening to people. They are also happening to industries. They're happening to firms. They're happening to companies. There are some industries that are, fizzling out now because of the advent of technology, because of internet, especially. Some industries are actually getting out relevance. And then when you look at it, it's happening everywhere in the world, but there's a way it's happening here in Africa because we do not have plans for proper succession. We do not have plans for institutions to outlive the founders. We do not have plans for things to really happen timelessly. So we fall easily into the trap of, you know what, let me just do it for the fun of it. Let me just do it for the title. Let me just do it, yeah, because I just want to do it. And because of that, a lot of things have not gone the right way. And I felt like, okay, there's something we can do about it. A lot of things are already going on about it. A lot of people are doing so much about it. So, but the thing is this: we've got this platform as a tool to address it from the business point of view. So I said, okay, you know what? I found out something that makes businesses to die. And what is that thing? Waste. Waste are those things that are actually unwanted, but somehow because of the mismanagement of process, the mismanagement of action or attitude or whatever it is, you cannot avoid them. You can't do away with them. They eventually will find themselves outside the process, as part of the outcome and all of it like that. So how do we do this? Let's start, to educate the people. Let's start to open the eyes of people to different ways. And when we are talking about ways, it's not just something that you should think about when you are in the manufacturing industry or whatever it is. Even in rendering services, there are a lot of waste there, and that's been very, very amazing. That's been very, very intriguing. When we have our eyes open to all of these realities, you see that, hey, I think this is quite more than I thought of. So let me stop at that now. I think our speakers are getting headway with the technical issues from their end. Okay, thank you so much. I would like to bring in the legend. I call him legend. He's a great man. He's going to be telling us about MuMu. MuMu in the business MuMu. A lot of us ask me that question. That what does that MuMu mean? In the business MuMu. So this man, he's got the guts. He's got everything. To be able to talk about what that MuMu means in the business MuMu. It's a pleasure to have you here today, Denu. How you doing today? Can you hear me?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, awesome, great, thank you. So, Victoria, you're welcome. How you doing?
Hello.
We can hear you now.
Hello.
I notice
Yeah, I can hear you.
you're welcome. The word is listening to you. The word can hear you. You're welcome. The network is actually not too interesting from your end. My signal is telling me that
Okay,
from here.
Business best.
Hello, are you there?
I've got. So, hey. I'm seeing.
Okay. You can go ahead. Just
my name is Dane. Yeah, my name is Dane. I am. I don't know why that was me. where I got that from. Anyways, I see as the viral or multiple publishing and all. I'm also interested in architecture or I've done this by the way. So let's do what today we of sorts what you know. The thing is that the background information that we of that so I think yes, all the businesses that start today or in 10 years about the each of them are currently in
Daniel, we can't hear you.
in
Daniel, we can't hear you.
just
The
about
network is not interesting there. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
saying over.
You said?
Oh God. Can you hear me now?
It's breaking. It's a bit cracky.
Aye. That is now was I think this is the best place.
Okay.
This is the best network in this area. Yeah. Aye.
I think it's balancing up now. Just don't worry. Just be calm. Be calm. Be calm. It's balancing up now. Just don't worry. It's part of the problems we want to solve.
Okay. Let's go and continue talking. Okay. So like as I was saying, the business 10 years ago, I still business. The rest are probably time to dress us and business and being able to be sustainable. So the business is an initiative that set to make and ensure companies are thriving global situation. And the initiative was by of this and the word that in Nigeria some that is it means maybe sure so that's what we're trying to implement the word peace MuMu. But still interested that the fact that the scripture is out of and out of the mouth and was the dish of be given. So like that implies to business, but more specifically, the words number the number is more, and this was the anything that has to do with it, and the overproduction that is real production, and we has to do with over the was stressed out. Moral do it even I just to like from understanding that
Okay.
then on
Danu,
actually go again.
Danu, can you hear me?
Business success.
Danu, can you hear me?
Bring the business down. We are learning from how to do things and then trying to. Yes, I can.
Can you hear me? Wow!
Can you
wow!
talk?
Wow! The signal of your network is actually reading green, but I don't know why It's cracky.
Yes, yes.
It's cracky. I don't know why. Okay, can you talk now? I think your picture is even a little bit stable now than before. You can go ahead. Okay, you can go ahead. Go ahead. I actually don't know why it's not as clear as it's supposed to be, because the network and signal strength here shows that you have something stable. Are you still there? Can you hear me? You're not talking. Pops. Okay, okay, okay. Just a moment. Yeah. I wish we could have a better network connectivity from his end. He's trying all his best to be able to speak to us clearly. But I'll wait for him to be able to fix that, and then we move. Yeah, let me continue with my story about how business MuMu started. So I found out that uh, there is a particular thing that is easy for us to take care of, and we can be sure of fixing the jigsaw, and that is taking out wastes from businesses. The waste of uh, title. I just want to bear the title as the CEO. Some people, the only thing they have in their mind about that company is that they are the CEO of the company. If you ask them any other thing aside that, they are going to goof. They won't be able to tell you what exactly they are doing, even as the CEO of the company. But when you ask them outside there, what are you doing? Who are you? Hey, I'm the CEO of so and so. After that, they don't even know what else. There's someone else doing the job. If at all, they are that smart to know that, okay, even though I cannot do it, I can get somebody else to do it. Some people, the only thing they have concerning owning a company is the title of a founder, CEO, or whatever you want to, give yourself at this point in time. So a lot of ways like that have been identified through the process of starting businesses in Africa. Some people don't know, how to take care of the waste of time management. So, it's a big problem. Some people, it's the material, it's a big problem. Some people, is a human resource, it's a big problem. Some people, it's even the financial resource, it's a lot of problem. So a lot of waste have been identified through the chain of production. The process, the time, the product, the plan, everything, talent, techniques, technology, everything. There are different points along the chain that we have been able to identify wastes that are actually dragging businesses down in Africa now, precisely. I want us to talk about Africa today. I want us to focus on Africa for this conference because we are empowering the African business gene. We have got the power, we have got the everything that is needed. But there is a hole in the Titanic. But there is a pinhole somewhere that is causing wastes of our energy. There's just something that is dragging down the whole effort. There's just something, there's just a misplacement of priority that is making us not to be able to focus accordingly to be able to get the result that we all want. We all want to get the result. We all want to to make the pin to move. When you found a company, what you are doing is this: you are getting yourself enlisted. Look at the word business. Let me quickly talk about the word business. The word business is, a boss that is commissioned to carry goodness from one point to the other. Boss, I see business as a combination of two words: boss and goodness. Boss and goodness. So when you start business, it means you automatically become a commission and license to carry goodness from one point to the other. So it's where they need the goodness that you will carry it to. It's a lot of work. It's not paparazzi. It is not what you want to do. It is not what you feel like doing. It is what you have to do because a lot of things depend on it. There are places where evil is rampant, but what business is doing is carrying goodness from a point to another point where evil has, militated against their forward movement. That's what business is doing, bringing solution on board, taking light to where there is darkness. That's what business is supposed to do for us. So it's not for us to flaunt about and say, you know what, I've got this, I've got that. No, business is you being commissioned to carry the boss of goodness from one point to the other. So if you are not doing that, you are not fit to be in business. And why would people not want to do this noble work? Why will people not be able to do this noble work? One, they are not empowered to do it in the real sense, or they have misplacement of priorities. Why they wanted to do it is because, hey, guy, see my boss. The boss that was commissioned for me to be able to carry goodness. You want to tell people the name of the boss. You want to tell people that, okay, this is the boss. This is what the boss can do. But you are not even aware of the fact that this boss is timely. This boss has time ticking on it. Some people, it's like, you are trying to supply blood to an accident scene. Somebody is dying. Somebody is, losing blood seriously. And you are here trying to tell them that, do you see the make of my boss? Can you see the make of my Ferrari? Hey, my God, see the model. You are flaunting all of those things that you have been given as a tool to carry goodness from where it is sufficient, where it is surplus, to where it is needed. And by the time you get to where it is needed, you are already too late, because we already lost the life. Because, the person that needed the blood has lost too much blood to be able to enjoy the blood you are just bringing. This is the picture I want you to have when you say you are going into business. Now, what is the waste? Look at the boss. The waste of time would not make you to be able to arrive early at the scene where you are needed. How are you wasting time in delivering the solution that you have been inspired to deliver? How are you not taking your time in delivering the solution that you have come up with as an idea to give us? Is it in the logistics industry, the supply chain? Is it in the medicine? Is it wherever? Are you taking too much time to turn it to product? You are still becoming, you feel like, hey, it's not perfect yet. It's not this yet. Hey, guy, get out and get on the feed. Bring it for us. Some people are dying because you are refusing to bring it right on time. So it's not about you. It's about the audience. It's about the people that are in darkness waiting for the light you have been commissioned to bring to them. So how are you wasting that time to bring in this solution to them? Now, let's look at the fuel now. The fuel in the fuel tank. that is to power the engine and make you propel, move forward to bring us the solution. You were not supposed to call at that place. You were not supposed to go for that meeting. You were not supposed to go to that street. You were not supposed to go to that town because you have calculated fuel in that bus that has been commissioned for you to be able to deliver the solution you are empowered to deliver. But you wasted the fuel along the way. And before you even get to where you are expected, the car breaks down because the fuel finished. Waste again. How are you wasting that capacity that's been given to you to be able to deliver goodness through that business? You see, business is not for you to, to raise your shoulders. It's a boss commissioned for you to move goodness from a point to the other. You wasted the time. You wasted the fuel. In fact, you wasted the skill of driving, where you were supposed to be very focused and stay on your lane. You went ahead to hit somebody. Now, this is even coming back to time now. You wasted the resources. The resources you were supposed to probably use to buy fuel and fuel that bus that you are carrying goodness with. You now use it to repair another person's car that you bashed. Are you seeing it now? I want you to see this picture, because when you get into business, I want you to have the mindset that is proper and needed for you to be able to do what is expected of you part-time, every time in business. Listen, business is war. You are not expected to go raw. Business is war. You are not expected to go raw. It's a lot. It requires a lot from anybody who wants to get into business. A lot. So it's not a place you go to show yourself. If you do not have the solution that the market requires, you are not going to be relevant in the world of business. It's high time we get focused on bringing the solution to the people than flaunting the what will I call it now? The benefits or the features of the tools that are actually at our disposal to the fulfillment of this lofty goal, this big vision of business. Along this process, there are a lot of wastes that we have identified in businesses, especially in Africa, that have kept us back from achieving that great thing, achieving that great feat that's expected of us in the Commonwealth of Nations. It's a pleasure to have you again. Absolute pleasure to have you again. Denu, I want to bring you up now, and I hope the network is going to be favorable now to have you talk to us. I want to welcome everybody who has joined us thus far. We have Denu here to talk to us about the MuMu in business MuMu. What do you think it is? Some people think it's, it means you are an imbecile. Some people think it's, it means you are a non-entity. You don't know what you are doing. Some people think it's just, okay, you know what? This guy is not talking to me. No matter what you think it means, let's hear what actually it means from Denu. Are you there, sir? It's like it's frozen there. Okay. The network is not doing well at all this afternoon. Victoria, are you there? Okay. 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 This is very, very uninteresting. Okay. Wow. The network is not doing fine at all at their end. Pop, 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 pop. Pop. This is not interesting at all. Quite very untrusted network facility. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Please, if you can hear me, let me see that in the comment section, please. If you can hear me, let me see that in the comment section. I hope I've been audible all the way. I just hope I've been audible all the way. If you can hear me, let me see that in the comment section. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Charles. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, okay. I've been audible and clear. Okay, okay. Thank you. Okay. Oh, Denu, it's like you are back now. Okay. Denu, what's up? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Is it okay now?
Go for it. It's better now. Better now.
So I'm so actually where I am is very, very weird because I came to come and do some printouts. So anyways, I'll just go. Basically the book initiative is an idea to save businesses from real, especially with the focus on businesses. So like I was saying before the network out my previous session, the MuMu was sold from Chinese hands. We have Muda, Mura, and Mura production. Mu means overburden. Mura means unevenness, and the idea is to read the idea that waste reduction is an effective way of increasing profitability. That is the idea of Muda. Overburden has to do with the fact of maybe in terms of pressure from competition, and like Uncle Olatunji has been saying this morning, you know, a lot of people they focus on producing on making the product, on competitive trends and all. When the focus of a business is in the custom and what the customer is saying, what they want to do, and do kind of stuff. So the overboarding has to do with the fact that stop the overthinking, stop the over stressing, and just run out and go save the world and life we are expected to. So then we have uneveness. Now, what are the comes in terms of hierarchical thing that has to do with leadership? Like also he was saying, he said some people the only thing they have is the fact that they are of the business. There's nothing more interesting than the fact that they are the CEO, founder of whatever their business startup is. So and by the time you now look into the systems, you discover that there's unevenness, there's no smooth system going on in place and all kind of stuff. So MuMu Mortality decided to bring this word together, and we use the first two words, the first two letters MUMU, and it gives like MuMu. But MuMu is not something that makes sense in terms of branding and all. Like for brand sake, we had to make it MuMu. MuMu is sweet, and that is how we came. And that was what brought out the business MuMu initiative. And the scope, like I said, is to reduce the mortality rate of African businesses worldwide, so that by the next 10 years we can say, oh, business that started today, after listening to the business initiative, after following some of the things we've been saying, in the next 10 years they are still in business. That's what you're talking about. We are striving to increase the survival rate of African businesses worldwide. I hope I'm good. I hope that is wonderful. What do you think, Uncle?
Okay. I'm happy. I'm happy that you are happy about at least being audible enough from the best of what the network can offer from that end. Yet, I know we could get something better, but now at the moment we could not do anything to the network situation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I remember that day. He was like, "Hey, what's this thing about?" And I said, I'm giving you the task, to go and find out, go and do the research." And he came back. I was like, wow, I was actually blown away. I was like, hey, this is great job. And then when anybody asks me, what does this MuMu represent? I will just refer them, to what they know, right, in what you wrote, about it. And I was like, hey, go and read it, and you understand what it means. For me, it's a lot of excitement, a sense of fulfillment that, okay, yeah, I think it's not just something in my head that is not understandable. And that is what we have that I want him to actually explain to us. The network is not doing so well. It's part of the ways we are also talking about, it's part of the ways we are talking about. Yeah, let me go back to that and quickly round off, on that note, why we'll be expecting our next speaker to join us on this stage today. Yeah, like I said, when I'm trying to paint a picture, remember that business is a bus that is commissioned to carry goodness from a place to the other. Now, a bus, now you need fuel, you need to be able to drive the vehicle, the skill of driving. If you are not skillful enough to drive it, is another waste, because you may not actually arrive safely, even though you've got good intention. Of course, you can have good intention. You definitely don't want to, go on a journey and not want to arrive safely. But you may not arrive safely if you have not actually perfected your skill of driving. That's another waste. Now, if you did not pay attention to your fuel gauge, you may run out of fuel. You may run past where you're supposed to have filled more fuel. If you did not pay attention to your tires, you may run into trouble. A lot of things that you should pay attention to. A lot of things that you should pay attention to. But when you refuse to pay attention to them, they turn out to become wastes that are capable of pulling down that boss from delivering the goodness that is on board. Wastes that are capable of pulling down that boss from delivering the goodness that is on board. The boss, oh, Shadrach, thank you so much, meant to carry goodness from one location to the other. Yeah. Thank you so much. So, the boss that is commissioned to carry goodness from one point to the other, that is business. So when you want to get into business, you need to understand certain things very well. You need to understand certain things very well. And I've just told us one of those things that you need to understand. That business is not where you come into to flaunt the benefits or the features that you have from the tools that have been given to you to actually fulfill the demands of business. That you are given a Ferrari. Listen, it's not for you to flaunt and say, you come and see my Ferrari. No. What are you giving the Ferrari to do? That is the question. It's a boss that is expected to carry goodness from a point to the other. That's why it's called business. A boss expected to carry goodness from one point to the other. I'm actually making strong emphasis on this because I want it to sink. I want it to be one of those things you're going to take away from this conference. Business is not for you to show to your neighbor that you are better than your neighbor. You don't show to your neighbor that you have arrived by starting a business. You help us to put out darkness by starting a business. Every business is supposed to be a light, putting out darkness somewhere. Every business is supposed to be a light, putting out darkness somewhere. So when you are not coming up with a light to help us put out darkness anywhere, you are not entitled to be in business. Don't waste your time to be in business. I mean it, absolutely. No apologies. It's not for you to come and parade yourself and show yourself as someone who, should be looked at, someone who has arrived, someone who is this and that and all of it like that. No, that's not it. It's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility. Remember, I said business is a war. You are not expected to go raw. When you look at the word war, W-A-R, and you look at the word raw, R-A-W, don't worry, we'll get to that. It's a pleasure again to have our speaker today that will be talking to us so much more on branding. Yeah, we are starting with branding. Very important, because when one of those issues we have had in this part of the world is because it's the issue of not knowing how to position ourselves, not knowing how to sell what we've got. And that's why they come to us. They tell us how stupid our natural resources are, but they take them away. What do they go to do with them? They go to rebrand them, right? They bring them back to us. And we now find it very difficult to even believe that, hey, was that the cocoa you took away from here? Wow, amazing chocolate. Wow, was that the cow you took away from here? Wow, very nice bag, very nice shoe. What has happened? They have turned it to something that will now look very nice to us. Branding. When we talk about positioning, when we talk about, selling yourself the way you want to be perceived, when we talk about, making people to see your value the way it should be, we have somebody in the house today who's going to be doing real justice to that. a lot of hiccups here and there. But you know what? Because we are intentional about this, we are not coming here to come and show off. Yeah. We are not coming here to come and make you feel like, hey, some guys are here to talk to us about something and all of it like that. We are quite intentional. It's a lot on everybody that have made it to be available for this conference. And we are going to be having Omoba Biri, we call her Omoba Biri, and Minta. Some of us know her, Minta, Mommy in the Abroad. It's a pleasure to have you here today. And I'm going to bring her upstage for her to, go with us with our own session. Don't mind the, instability. She's actually in a private jet, moving from one point to the other. She's transporting goodness from one point to the other. So it's going to be a great pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much for the honors, and I want you to have the floor, and let's have a nice time.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Oh, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Can you see my face?
Yes, very well. We can hear you.
You can hear me, but can you see my face?
We can see your face.
Okay, it's fine then. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, I kept saying good evening because I do most of my live videos in the evening. So I'm used to evening. Good afternoon and happy weekend. I hope we all are having good time on this conference. Good to be here. So sorry for all the issues here and there. We just have to do what we have to do because this time is not really so good and convenient for me. So the long and short of it is that I am here and I'm here to deliver values. So I'm going to be talking about branding in Africa. It's quite a wide topic because branding on its own is going to take nothing less than I don't know, 3 hours to talk about. Africa alone is a continent, and talking about Africa as a whole in just one session is a big deal. But I'll try as much as possible to compress it and make it very snappy in such a way that we'll have at least a good grasp of what is branding and how branding impacts Africa. So let's dive straight into business. My name is Omoba Biri. I am a branding expert, a personal development coach, and a social media influencer. If my phone is shaking, please bear with me because I am on motion. So I am also a social media influencer, and majorly LinkedIn and Facebook are my platforms where I showcase my expertise and skills as a branding expert and as a coach. So what is branding? I'm very sure that so many of us have heard about the word branding before, but we might not really understand what branding is all about because branding means so many things, especially in different concepts or in different contexts, rather. To an entrepreneur, branding is different. To an individual that doesn't have a business, branding is different. To an organization or a company, branding is different. And to the public, to the general public, to the audience, branding is also different. But one thing that is common in all of those things is that branding is perception. Branding is perception. That means branding is the way you perceive something, someone, or a business. Something, someone, or a business. So something might be how you perceive a car. Car A from car B. Toyota is different from Honda. Honda is different from Nissan. Nissan is different from Volvo. So what makes them different is because of the brands, because they belong to different brands. Samsung is different from BlackBerry, if we have anything like that again. Nokia is different from Apple phone or iPhone. So this brand is what makes them different. So Branding is about perception. When you see something or someone or a business, what do you perceive about them? How do you feel? Do you think, oh, this particular product is better than this particular product? Why? Because this particular product is from brand A and this one is from brand B. Is that what makes you think it's better? Reputation, perception, because there are so many brands today that we have seen, we have known, we have liked over the years. For instance, let's talk about noodles. But some of us don't even know that noodles is noodles. We call it Indomie. Why? Because we've known Indomie to be a brand that is reputable over the years. We've come to like them. We've come to trust their brand. We've come to believe in the quality of their products. So that's why we call all noodles Indomie. And by the time other brands are coming up to say, oh, we are also here, we are producing noodles, it becomes very difficult for us to embrace them, because there's this particular brand we are used to. There's this particular brand we like. There's this particular brand we love. And there's this particular brand that we perceive as good or better than others. So branding is all about perception. Now, we have so many types of brand. We have personal branding, business branding, and corporate branding. The mistake we make is that most times we think that branding is just about business. Okay, business A and business B, they are different brands. Little do we know that human beings have brands too. As an individual, you have your own brand. I have my brand. Olatuji Alonge has his own brand. Every other person you see on social media or even offline, they have their own personal brand. And that is what makes them unique. That is what makes them distinct. That is what gives them an edge ahead of another person. I have my own uniqueness, you have your own uniqueness. So what makes me stand out in a saturated market, in a saturated economy, in an economy or in an area where people are plenty? We have so many people doing the same thing you are doing, yet you want to stand out. You are a writer. We have hundreds of writers today. In fact, don't let me say hundreds. We have millions of writers today in the world. So that tells you that you are not the only one. You are not the first person to write. You won't be the last person. Even if you are gone, there will still be people that will come around to be a writer. So how do you want to segregate yourself? How do you want to distinguish yourself among all the millions of writers that we have? That is what we call branding, personal branding to be precise. Now, business branding. Business branding is simply how you brand your business, how you make your business unique. What perception do the audience or do the public have about your business? Do they think that, oh, your business is just one of those businesses out there? Because the truth is, if you don't brand your business, you won't have that unique identity. You will just be like every other business owner. You ensure that your business is there, not just because of you, but because you don't want to confuse your audience. Because you don't want to put your audience in confusion, like, okay, you know where you belong. You don't have a logo, you don't have a brand color. Nothing is standing as an identity for you as a brand. So that is what business branding. Business branding is just simply saying, be ready to distinguish your business from every other business out there, so that you will be able to attract the ideal clients that you want or that you need. Because why are you in business? You are in business because you want to make money. So if you are not getting your ideal clients, of what use is the business you're doing? And it is when you get your ideal client that you can say, okay, I want to make profit, I want to sell, or I want to turn over my sales, I want to build a global brand. So branding your business goes beyond just having a logo, a brand color. It's also being able to communicate your brand message in such a way that you are identifiable. Anywhere your brand message is seen, people know that, oh, this is this business. You're well represented in your audience. You're well represented in the industry. Your customers know you, you know them. They know you, they like you, they trust your brand. Okay, so having a brand message, having a vision. We have so many businesses today that don't have a vision. They don't even know where they are heading to. If you ask them, where are you going in the next 10 years? They don't even know. They have no idea at all, at all. They have no idea. So that is what business branding is all about. But before I proceed to corporate branding, I want to know if there's any question so far. What are the areas you would like me to address when it comes to personal branding and business branding? I hope the host is still here.
Very well, very well, very well.
Do we have any questions so far?
Yeah, I'm checking across platform. If there are, I will definitely get across.
Hello?
I'm with you. I'm checking across platform. If there are questions, I will get them across to you.
Okay. So we can just drop our questions as they are coming in, so that I can attend to them, because I won't be able to wait till the end of the session to take questions that fresh. Okay, so let's continue. Business brand has to do with your business logo, your business name. Your business name is as important as the business itself. There are so many things attached to your business name. There are so many things you have to consider when you are picking your business name. So many things. We can't talk about them today. But one of it is that it must resonate with you as a business owner. Because it's your business name. Even if you tell the public, this is my business name, and they accept it, does it resonate with you? You must have a strong reason why you are picking that business name, not just because you just feel the business name is ideal, or you have to check. Is the business name resonating with you? That's number one. Does it resonate with your audience? Because if the name is too long or it's too cumbersome, they can't pronounce it, or they find it hard to relate with it, there will be a problem. Then another thing is the business name available? Most of the time, you start a business without considering if the name is still available. By the time you go to CAC and say you want to register the name, they tell you, oh, it's no longer available. Someone else has already put the name. Do you understand? So it is important that you check if the business name is available. That's number one. Number two, or number three, does the business name resonate with your business? For instance, if you are into a laundry business now, you are into laundry, you can choose a business name such as I clean laundry services. I clean is anybody that even say I clean without even putting laundry services, they already know that this is what you do. You're into laundry, you're into cleaning. You understand? So I clean means something that is really close to your business or the kind of business you do. If you are into hair styling and hair making, you can say something like Hair Palace Beauty Salon, or airports, or hair abode. You know, you can use something very close that even when people don't even know what to do, once they see the name, they can say, oh, I can relate to this name. I think this is a business for hair, or this is a business for laundry services, and so on and so forth. So your business name is key. That's number one in business branding. Number two is your logo. Your business logo. We have a lot of businesses today that doesn't have a logo. Or let me say, we have a lot of them that have a logo and they don't even understand what the logo means. Someone just designed the logo and just give it to them and say, okay, this is your business logo. They don't even understand. They don't have an idea of the rationale behind that logo. So it is also important that your logo is something that resonates with the kind of business you do or the kind of idea behind your own business. Okay, someone is asking a question. Please, can you help me read the question?
What is the easiest way to create an ideal brand on Facebook, please?
Ideal brand on Facebook. That question is too specific. Okay, because ideal brand on Facebook, because there's so many things you have to consider before you pick Facebook as your platform. Facebook is not the only place to build a brand. Facebook is just one of the social media platforms that we have. So picking Facebook, can you tell us the rationale behind you pick? Because it is not all businesses that are suitable for all platforms. It's not all businesses that are suitable for all platforms. So what is the rationale behind Facebook? Because if you tell me that, okay, what is the easiest way to create an ideal brand on social media? I can tell you, but Facebook, why did you pick Facebook precisely? Is there anything you have in mind? Because you can build your business on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, even on TikTok. People are building businesses there. So what is the rationale behind you picking Facebook as your primary business platform? I would love to hear from that person.
Okay. So, Dr. Sonny, we would like to hear back from you while she continues. So just drop it in the comment section. I'll pick it up. Why you actually chose Facebook, for instance, and maybe you can also address that, Ma, on a general level, like not just Facebook now, so that maybe that would address his questions behind.
Okay, so generally on social media, you have to be sure of the kind of business you want to do. Are you running a complete online business or online and offline? Once you settle that, what kind of business do you do? Then what is the rationale behind you choosing your platform? Just like I said, which platform do you want to function? Is it LinkedIn? Because the truth is you cannot use all platforms.
Yeah.
If you use all platforms, you will, I don't know how to put it, you will get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
You will get really, really overwhelmed. So you need to be sure of the platform you are choosing and why you are choosing it. So if, for instance, if you are choosing 3 platforms, Facebook your primary, and others are just like backup. It's not like you don't use them, but you don't really put enough energy or a lot of energy into them. So if you are using Facebook, for instance, or even any social media platform, don't let me limit it to Facebook. You have to brand your business. So that's what I'm talking about. You have to brand your business. When you are talking about branding your business, you're talking about your business name. You must have a business name, a business logo, a business page, your brand message. Your brand message is your vision, your mission, and your slogan. That's your brand message. So that one needs to be figured out. What is your mission? Mission is where you see yourself in the next 10, 20, 50 years. Vision, a mission is why, what are you doing? What are you helping people to achieve as a business owner? What is your mission? Why are you doing what you're doing? Then your slogan is just a brief statement that summarizes everything that you stand for. It's just a brief statement that summarizes everything that you stand for. So that is vision, mission, and slogan. Slogan is just like, in one sentence, tell us who you are and what you do. So just say this, and this. We help you promote your business to get visibility and clarity. Maybe that's what you do as a business owner. So then your content. Content is very key when you are building a business brand. You need to put a lot of work into your content. Make sure your content is something that resonates with your client and your audience, because it is your content that you will use to communicate your brand message to the world. So your content is key. Your content is key. If you don't know how to create good content for your business, it's either you get a social media manager that will help you, or you create it by yourself and learn it. No, if you don't know how to create it by yourself, you can learn it. Learning it will help you to be able to do it yourself. And okay, so Those are the basic things. Your profile picture, your cover photo, profile picture, your bio. Bio is just like a summary of who you are and what you stand for. Not just your slogan, because I talk about slogan now, that a word or a sentence that explains what your business stands for. In that case, your bio as a personal brand is you. What do you help your client to achieve? For instance, now, I am a branding expert, and what my business does is that my business of entrepreneurs to create a sustainable brand or a reputable brand for their businesses or now, the person, what do I help people to do? I help people to get clarity on their business and personal branding journey. So you and your business, you are not the same thing. You're not doing the same thing. Your business exists without you, and that's why it is important that you have a business that has a structure. So if you are not there, your team members can still carry on with your business. But you as a person, what you had or to your or what value I get to the table apart from your business? Uncle, can you please
Yes.
read it out for me?
Yeah.
I
It
can't see
just
all the
updated.
comments being
Yeah. It just
displayed.
updated the question now. I said brand for an NGO. Facebook chosen as convenient space for publicity, so to say.
God, are you there? You have
Yes,
to
I'm
read
with
this your
you.
comments. I can't see everything. It's just
Okay. Yeah, he's saying brand for an NGO. He's trying to do a follow-up for the question. He said the brand is for an NGO, and Facebook is chosen as a convenient space for publicity.
I can't hear you.
The person that
Can you
asked
take that
why,
again?
can you hear me now? The person that asked why, how to build brand on Facebook. So the follow-up for the question, the person that asked initially that was the easiest way to create ideal brand on Facebook. So the follow-up for the question is brand for an NGO. That's, maybe he has an NGO and he wants to actually build a brand for it on Facebook because it's a convenient space for publicity.
Okay, so it's the same thing that applies to Facebook and every other social media platform. The same thing, just like I mentioned. You need to fix your brand name, your brand logo, your brand slogan, your brand message, vision, mission, and slogan. Then you need to fix the picture, your cover photo, your bio, your profile, and your content, which is the last one and which is the most important. Your content is what you use to communicate your brand message to your audience. So that is all about business branding, and that is all about how you can build a good business brand on Facebook. Whether it is Facebook or other social media platform, it's like a general standard for all of them. The same thing that is applicable to Facebook is applicable to LinkedIn, Instagram, and every other places. So I hope that question is clear. So
Yeah, I
we've
hope
talked
so.
about business branding. We've talked about business branding. Now let's talk about personal branding. We talked about personal branding too a bit when I started. So personal branding is just, like I said, how you distinguish yourself as a person, different from every other person. So what do you also need to do to brand yourself as a person on social media or even offline? Number one is your display picture. People need to see the name or the face behind your name. Don't be anonymous. Don't put an image on your display picture and say, oh, this is me. Nobody even know how you look like. So you need to be able to put a name or a face to your name as a person. On social media, you see a lot of people without profile picture, without bio, without nothing. With that, you cannot build a personal brand. And after it's just like the same thing we have for business, we have for person. So for our business brand, we have business name. For personal brand, we also have personal name. Your name is your brand. I am Omoba now, and that is my brand. That is my personal brand. My host is Olatunde Alonge. That is his personal brand. Okay, so your name is your brand. So the same way we have a personal name is the same way we have a business name. So we have that. Then we have the logo for business. For business, for personal brand, we have picture. We have display picture. So it's like what an opposite. Then for business brand, we have a brand message. For personal brand, we also have a brand message. Because you as a personal brand, there's something you want to tell your audience. You have a message for them. And that message needs to be communicated through what? Through your content. So we also have content on the personal brand. So that is what personal branding on social media is all about. Creating valuable content that can help your audience understand your brand message, who you are, what it stands for, your vision, your mission, where are you going, what is the intent behind what you're doing, and how is what you're doing going to add value to other people, especially your clients, your prospective customers, and your audience. How is what you're doing going to add value to them? Because you can be on social media, you can do all these things I've talked about. Oh, your logo is perfect, business name, you have this, you have that. Yet, nobody can pin out that this is exactly what you're doing. This is exactly how you can add value to people. This is exactly what you are bringing to the table. So your brand message must be very clear and unambiguous. Unambiguous means we don't have to be asking around. We don't have to be checking Wikipedia. We don't have to be checking Google before we know exactly what you're doing and who you are servicing. Who are your target audience? Who are the people you service? And what benefit is your brand going to bring to them? Is your brand going to add value to them? If yes, what value? Okay, let me use myself as an example now. I'm a branding expert, and the value I bring to the table is that I help people or individuals build their personal brand. I give them clarity. I help them get clarity. Like, okay, I know I want to do something, but I don't even know what to do. I don't even know how to do it. I know I want to do something. I even know what I want to do, but I don't know how to do it. So they need a kind of clarity on that journey. So that is the value I bring to them. But at the end of the day, when they consult me and we have a session, we have a webinar or something, we discover that they live unambiguous. They live with so much clarity that, they can say, yes, I now know what exactly I want to do. I now know my niche. I now know where I want to function. And I know the kind of audience I want to service. And I know the kind of clients I want to service. So that is the kind of value I bring to the table. You can also ask yourself, what value are you bringing to the table as a brand? Either as a personal brand or as a business brand. What is going to change in the life of your audience or in their businesses when you come into play? Is anything going to change? Yes. What exactly is going to change? So we've talked about personal brand, we talked about business brand, but I need to emphasize that building a brand is not restricted to social media. Building a brand is not restricted to social media. There are so many ways you can use to build your brand offline. Before social media, there is something we call broadcast media. And broadcast media is talking about broadcasting, whether radio, television, or magazine. And before even while we have broadcast media, we have print media. Print media is talking about magazine, newspaper, bulletin, articles, and so on and so forth. So we have 3 types of media, or let me say 4. We have the print media, we have the broadcast media. Those ones are the analog type of media. We have the digital and we have the social media. So you can use of those four medias. You need to say, oh, I have to be. But the truth is, everything has been merged to the digital media, because even the broadcast media, they are on social media, they are on digital media. Even the print media, you will see them, they have a social media account, they have YouTube channels, they are just there embracing the change in technology. So if you say, oh, I don't want to do anything social media, I don't want to do anything digital, you might find it very difficult to build your brand. Or you will build it, it will not stand the test of time. Before you know it, you won't even exist again. Nobody will know what you're doing. So it is very important that you bring your business or your brand to social media so that it will help you get visibility on time, get influence on time, and move faster in your journey of branding. So lastly, and in conclusion, we have the corporate media, the corporate branding. Corporate branding is for companies, big organizations, limited liability companies, and established organizations generally. The branding for them is at that level where they do a lot of PR, public relations. They do a lot of corporate branding in such a way that people out there have a good perception of them. You know, it's like when there is an issue now with any of those companies, you see their media person will come out and say, oh, media company will come out and say, oh, we are the media company or the PR company for this particular branch. This is what happened. This is our own side of the story. Why do you think they are doing that? Because branding is key to them. The reputation of the brand, the way people perceive that brand is really key to their business. It's in fact, it's not just key to their business, it's key to their turnover and their sales. Because I remember there was a time Indomie had an issue. Indomie noodles, they have an issue. I don't know what happened, but they said there was this public stunt that people started dying when they eat Indomie noodles. I think 4 or 5 people. I don't know where. I don't know whether it is true or not. I really do not know. But the truth is that particular thing went a long way to damage the brand of Indomie, because they experienced a drop in. Nobody will buy something they say is killing somebody now. You know, you hear, they say Indomie is killing somebody. Will you buy? No. Even if it is not true, you will first say, I beg, let me hold on first, though, because we don't know now, maybe not true or not be true, you know. You will be very skeptical. Nobody will go on to buy such. That singular act cost Indomie a lot of loss. Before their PR will come out and say, oh, this thing is not true, this is a wrong news, this is a false news. Before they will do all of that, they've really lost a lot of money. Imagine they don't have any plan for branding, or they don't have any plan for public relation or public image. What will you think will happen to them? If that news keeps spreading and spreading for 1 month, they are going to close shop because nobody will buy from them. And because sales is the act of every business. If you're not selling, what are you doing? What are you doing in business? Nothing. So one day you just pack up because bills needs to be paid. Electricity bill, lease, so many things. Machines needs to be maintained. So at the end of the day, if you are not careful, you will just run out of business. So corporate branding is as good as business branding, and is as good as personal branding. So I am going to be ending this presentation now, and I hope and believe that we've all been able to get value from this presentation. Please let me know if you have any question so that I can address it. If you have any question, please drop it in the comments and let me know. But if there is no question, I would like to ask the host if there's any question.
Yes. People are actually showering their praises in the comment section. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing time with you. Really, absolutely. You have been able to touch in so deep dimensions. They look very simple, but getting very deep in all the dimensions. Thank you so much. I want to just, bring the focal lens now on Africa. What do you think we have been doing wrongly in Africa, on a general note when it comes to branding? Because I feel like we are not really there, when it comes to real branding, on a global terrain. If we are to do the categorization, Africa is behind when it comes to branding. So what do you think we have not been doing well in Africa about branding, be it personal, be it corporate, be it business?
Okay, for Africa as a nation or as a continent, I think we have a lot of we have a lot of work to do when it comes to branding. Now, as we know, as Africans, we have this bad image already. I am very sure some of us are aware, especially some of us that travel a lot. You will discover that there is this uh, uh, on us. When they see Africa, oh, there's a way they see you, especially we are like you're a criminal in Africa. If, you can see a lot of investors today turn down an offer because they simply see that this is coming from Africa. We need to, we as individuals and our government, we have a lot of work to do in terms as Africans, redeeming that image, proving to the world that Africans are not criminals. We are responsible people. We are innovative. We are creative. We are energetic. We are full of talent. We are embodiment of talent. Okay, so that image, that perception needs to change first. Will it change? It's from you and I. Let's do the right thing wherever we find ourselves. Don't jump queues when you have to be, even when they are in the country or outside the country. Obey rules and regulations. Do not try to manipulate anything. Take the right routes. Don't try to do corner. Don't try to cut corners. We've seen a lot of people in their offices today that what they are even doing is worse than what the government is doing. They do a lot of manipulation on their desk. They do a lot of stuff. And we keep saying, oh, Africans are not good. This is the same mentality we would export to the outer world. And they will start treating us anyhow, or start treating us badly. So it is important that we all try to redeem Africa's image in our various corners, in our various capacity. And for Africans, I think we also have a role to play in our business branding.
Yeah.
Let's brand our business. Don't let us just set out as business owners just because everybody is doing business. Know why you are doing that business. Have a plan. Have a solid plan for your business. What's your vision? What's your mission? What is your strategy? Or what are your strategies? Give it a system. Don't start anyhow. Yes, you can start anyhow. But do anyhow. Make sure that as you're moving, you're growing. As you're moving, you're having value. You're getting better. I started. Let me just continue like this. One day, things will fall into place. No, it might not happen. You might make a conscious effort on your own side to make sure that those things happen. So that is just the global conceptualization of branding in Africa. And I hope it resonates with the audience who are watching this.
Wow, absolutely. And from that, I'm able to pick that the building blocks of building a brand are actually virtues, are actually our attitude, are actually, several things that sometimes the benefit of social media is not even letting us to know. People just want to follow, the likes, the comment, and all of it like that. But in building a brand that's going to be sustainable and that's going to represent us well, even on a global scale, we need to be able to redeem our image. We are not thieves, we are not rogues, we are not all those things they call us. We are talented, we are good people, we are great people. Thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate that. And I do not know if we have any question again in the comment section. Okay, no question now in the comment section again. Everybody is doing their shout out to you, saying Minta, all the way. Minta, thank you so much.
Thank
It's a
you,
pleasure to really
everyone.
have you. I know how
I don't want
very,
to salami. I see you. Thank
yeah,
you for
I know
joining.
how
Lotso, Sonny, thank you for joining.
those are the people that had the courage to type in the comment section. Some people are very shy, they don't want you to see their fingers. They're actually behind the scene and they're enjoying themselves absolutely. Thank you so much. I know what this means. I have to
Thank
pull
you
you out
very
of
much for
your
having
rest.
me.
I have to pull you out of your own time for your personal self, and all because of Africa. You are here for us. Thank you so much. We do not take
Thank
a bit
you.
of this for granted,
Thank you very
and
much for
that's why I
having
say
me. I
thank you
hope
so
the
much.
people did not disturb the brand message. I hope the brand message is clear, despite
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. The brand message is clear. We
Yeah.
already told our audience to expect intentionality and not just the facts. We were quite intentional. We didn't come to show up. We didn't come to show the people, hey, this is it, and all of it like that. We came very direct, and that's the expectation, and we are not falling short on that. So people are really enjoying themselves with, yeah, this is it. This is Africa, and we are doing it. We don't need to, paint the picture to ourselves like, hey, like the colonial master to our fellow, Africans. So thank you so so much for the amazing time. I do appreciate.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir. Some other time.
okay,
Do have a
okay,
lovely weekend.
okay. Thank you so much. Wow, wow, that was an amazing time. Thank you everybody who are sitting in the comment section to join us. Technically, I'm still unable to have my co-moderator for today on board, but at the moment now, whether you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn, you are on Gist House, you can have us live now. I see people joining all across board. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for participating even in the comment section. Yes, yes. We're going to be having our next speaker, pretty soon now. And before we do that, some of you want to ask me some brand questions, and I'm here to actually answer you some brand questions. Time did not really permit us, and the situation of things from the end of our guest speaker on that, she actually wished that we had another time. But I was like, you know what? We can have another time after this time. I'm so so blessed to have her, schedule a lot out of inconveniences to be here with us. It's a great pleasure, and I do not take it for granted. And that's why I say this is quite intentional. These are not people who are actually coming to tell us how skillful they are, in speaking Queen's English, or how they can be so good as orators to just make you feel good, but telling you the truth that is needed per time. I like you to use the comment section across board. If you have any question for me on branding, yeah, bring it on, bring it on. We are ready for that now, seriously. And it's going to be an absolute pleasure to have us all here. Ask your question. Ask your question. Thank you so much, Vivian. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. Bishop, thank you so much. It's good to have you here. Adorunke, it's a pleasure to have you. Dotun Soni, thank you so much. Damilola, it's a pleasure. Osato, thank you so much. Who is there again? I think I've seen someone else. Okay, yeah. Chadrak, thank you so much. Oluwa Damilola, thank you so much. Chidima, thank you so much. Dr. Charles, thank you so much. Olujiton, thank you so much. Eva Lester, thank you so much. I'm so sorry if I do not pronounce your name correctly. Afam Samuel, thank you so much. Bong Musa from South Africa, he said, yeah, all the way from South Africa, thank you so much. Olu Shegun, thank you so much. Ola Olua, thank you so much. Ibidun, thank you so much. Graphics Medium, thank you so much. Everybody, you know, who have been part of this. Some people are not even ready to type in the comment section. Some people are actually shy to type in the comment section. No problems. There's no problem about that. Thank you so much. All the same too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to receive our questions, please. Bring in your questions. Bring in your questions, and then let's attend to them. Sorry. Please ask your brand question. We are getting set for the next speaker, and I want us to just engage on that. Let's ask the next question. Okay. Nobody wants to ask question about brand. I feel like I should ask somebody question. And how can I bring somebody now on the hot seat? Oh my God. I just feel like doing that right away. Bringing somebody on the hot seat now. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Since nobody wants to ask question now, okay. Let's enjoy ourselves with this while we expect the next speaker. Yeah.
Watch the people who are in your life. Your vision can be destroyed by people or can be encouraged by people. Any vision you have, God has some people prepared to work with you. You know, when I went to college, I had a dream just to get my degrees, but there were people who already been set apart to help me through. And I mean, some of them helped me academically, some helped me financially, some helped me with encouragement and spiritual walk. I mean, there were people everywhere to help me. And when you have a dream, that's the way it works. People will always be there waiting for your dream. But if you have no dream, the people who are supposed to help you can't find you. One, everybody say negative people. Everybody say positive people. There's some people who are good for you and some that are bad for you. And you got to know the difference very quickly. There are people who I call toxic people. They contaminate your vision, they pollute your mind and try to destroy your faith. Stay away from toxic people. There are polluted people who try to come into your life and destroy your dream. They always talk negative, what you can't do, what's never been done, what has never been done, what cannot be done here. No one has never done it for the first time. You better stop that, get back to what you were doing. Why don't you be what other people are? I mean, people will talk you out of your dream if you're not careful. Can I suggest that there are a number of types of people. I call them external and internal opposition. The minute you decide to fulfill your dream, all your enemies wake up. You know, as long as you ain't doing nothing, ain't nobody gonna bother you. Hello? I mean, here you are on a job, you're a nice secretary, you've been there for 20 years, everyone thinks you're happy, and one day you decide, I'm going back to school. Why? I'm gonna take a master's degree in computer. Why? Because I want to begin a computer company. Well, friends, all your friends will become enemies that day. First question, who do you think you are? Second question, do you know how old you are? Third question, you realize your brain ain't working no more? Fourth question, who you think will come to your school? I mean, by the time they finish, you settle down and be a secretary again. People get angry when you step out and start to do something that they haven't done before. So listen, one of the principles is that people will come against you. Get used to the idea. There will be people who will talk and gossip and malign and slander. That's a part of the process. Why? It's proof that you're doing something. The minute you start to step out and start to fulfill your dream, here comes the angry ones. And believe me, the angry ones will attack you. When you start your own business, everyone attacks you from the outside. Your mother says, you better stay on your job, it's secure. Your cousin says, what you leaving your job for, girl? That's sure money. Your brother says, now listen, girl, don't you go behind that full of teaching about that Bible thing. You better stay on your job. And they attack you. And by the time they finish, you end up being a secretary all your life with a burden on the inside, frustrated forever. Dying young because of high pressure and high blood pressure. People will attack you when you start to do what you were born to do. It comes with the job. You see, when you become an original, the copies don't like you. That's the problem. People want you to be what they want you to be, not what you were born to be. And when you start to step out of what they expect you to be, they begin to hate you and see you as a problem. Tell your neighbor, you might as well get used to me, because you're going to see me anyhow. Tell your neighbor, when I die, you'll never forget me. People who change the world decide to declare independence from other people's opinions. That's what makes the difference in life. There will be opposition. You know, it's amazing. I might as well tell you this little secret. But do you know that every year, personally, I earn and give to this ministry over $400,000 to $500,000? Personally, I give it to this ministry. All the books that are sold in this ministry, all my money, I give to the ministry. All the tapes and videos that are sold around the world, I mean hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, I give it. Not 1 cent comes to me from those tapes and books. Give it over $500 given to the ministry last year from me personally. If I want to be rich, I could be rich, but wealth don't mean nothing to me. I love the vision of God. So you can't go behind people. Hello, somebody. People will lie on you, make up stories about you, rumors all around the city, but keep your eyes on the wall. Keep on working, keep on building, keep on trucking. Why? They're going to join you later. They just don't know. If you're going to be successful, get ready for internal opposition. People have meetings on you at their homes and quiet meetings in restaurants and discussions behind the wall. Hey, listen, ignore them and keep building. I know y'all ain't gonna clap now because you might be one of them, but listen here. The Bible says not only are they come from the outside, but they join you. Boy, if you're gonna be successful in your vision, get ready for internal opposition. And sometimes you gotta ask people to leave once in a while. Sometimes you gotta fire people too. Man, sometimes it just ain't working. You know, you gotta, I mean, internal opposition is such a cancerous thing. See, those who outside, you know who they are. It's them inside ones that really, David says, if it was my enemies, I could handle it. He said, but my own friends cut my throat, he says. Get ready for it. Man, you start a business, you're gonna hire folks who got an aim to destroy your business. And they came to be an employee so they could deflate you. Keep your vision. Watch the people that are around you.
Wow. I like that. I like that energy boost. Very interesting. Yep. Yeah, the copy start getting angry when you decide to be the original of yourself. I want to take a brand story from that. That was intentional to bring us, into a new light of this. The copy start getting really angry with you when you decide to become the original version of yourself. Are you there? Okay. So look at it. Look at it. When you become original, those that are not original find it offensive because they feel like you are up to becoming what you are meant to be. And they're actually far from it. They are not it at all. And that's something about branding. You should never allow yourself to fall into that trap of being a fake version of yourself, because it's like a castle in the air. It will fall with the rain. It's like a castle in the air. It will fall with the rain. No matter what you want to do in building your brand, personal, business, corporate, national, whichever brand you are building, of course, you should start with personal. Be careful that you are building a correct brand. For that is a brand that can be sustained. That is a brand that will be sustainable. Else, it will fall. Don't allow the pressure of people from outside make you give in into becoming a caricature of yourself. Don't allow the pressure of people from outside make you give in to giving what they like, for them to say, hey, they fake it till you make it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dotun. That the presence of fake is the evidence of original anywhere at any time. Yeah, that's correct. So you have to be original. Very important. You have to be original. Don't allow yourself to give into that pressure of faking your originality. That you have the capability to fake it, it means that you have the original. You are just not doing what you're supposed to do, around certain control structures, putting certain parameters into the right order for you to actually come out in that your original self. It's an amazing time already. I wish I could just take us more on that. We have a lot of fake branding all about the place today, and come next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, there will be no more again. Why? Because their foundation was not proper in the first place. We are going to be having our next speaker, and it's a pleasure to have him. Anytime I see him, I'm always happy. You know why? One of those reasons is he's my birthday mate. And I forgot to tell you that Omoba Bini, Adiola Osideko is also my birthday mate. Yeah. I have my birthday mates coming around today. It's a big pleasure. If you want to know the day, please, you can see me behind the scene. I will tell you. And I will now give you the assignment to go and start looking out for people who will share the same birthday together. And you see that we are all amazing people. We are all amazing people. It's a pleasure to welcome again on the stage right now to come and give us, a very deep perspective again. Omoba Bini, she's more explosive than that. But because of the situation that she had, she just had to manage it and give that. If you see her on a very normal day, you know that my birthday mates are not playing. I have one here. I call him Bishop. They call him Bishop. Me, I call him Bishop, and I call him with capital letter Bishop. He's a great man, and it's a privilege to have him here again today. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. You told me, say, hey, I've got my slides. I say, hey, we are here for Big G today, and it's a big one. So you're on screen now. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
How are you?
Very fine.
It's a great day, everyone. Are we
Thank
good
you,
to
sir.
go?
Very good, sir.
Okay. Thanks for having me. I'm going to be speaking about choosing the right business partners. And I told Olatunji that I like to share slides. Let me know when you see my screen, everyone.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just run through a few slides, talk about choosing the right business partners. Some things here may be bass for some of us. Please get used.
He's the king of table shaker. Thank you, sir.
I didn't plan. I just thought I should say it the way it is.
Yes, sir.
And so let me start by talking about myself. I currently work in 4 different organizations, but I manage 3. So I am COO of Oryx, I am NG CEO of 1224, I am Kiesto based in Ireland. Oryx is a business solutions IT company. 1224 is a training company. This is the definition of the new normal. We do more than one thing at a time. And I work 95% from home. So let's talk about changing dynamics of engaging people. So the dynamics are different now. There is an evolving workforce, there is workplace complexity, and there is battle for talent. So if you think choosing a partner is going to just come on a platter, it doesn't happen like that again, because there is a battle for talent. The workplace is becoming more and more complex, and people are evolving day by day. So let me share some interesting thoughts with you. The first one, before you choose a business partner, question, can you choose you? I want to choose a partner. I want to choose a partner. But can you choose yourself? Suppose somebody were to say they want to choose, are you qualified to be chosen as a partner yourself? So look at it from the other end. There's the first side of being a partner and the other side of choosing a partner. If somebody was to say they want to choose, would your name show up? Would you be qualified to be somebody that someone wants to do business with? Now, let's ask ourselves this. Take a look in the mirror. What do you see? Question, what do you bring to the table? Do you know yourself? Do you know your personality? Do you know your own likes? Do you know the things that excite you? What are the mindset? What are the things that you yourself need to deal with? Are you part of the problem? Or are you the solution? Because every time you talk about partnership, it means people are coming together to solve a common challenge. It means people are coming together with different strengths to solve a common problem. I'll talk about that briefly, and I'll talk about things that focus around us as individuals. So simple things to look out for. The first one, capacity and experience. What's the person's capacity to deliver what you're looking out for? Second thing you need to look out for, how useful is that person or that organization to you? If I already have certain skill sets, does it make sense that I bring in people with the exact same skill sets for my business? You need people who can balance you out in areas where you are weak. You need people who can help you do some things that you cannot do. And note this, I am not speaking from theory. I am speaking from things I have done and I have experienced. I'm going to mention a few things down the road based on my own personal experiences. Some are not good, some are very good. Does the person have the same direction with you? You can have all the experience, you can have all the skills, but the person may be moving in a different direction. I sit on the board of a particular company where the lady employed, she got a co-founder. And after a while, the co-founder had to resign. And the reason was simple. The co-founder and the CEO had different visions. Both of them had different thoughts about how the business should go. So they were constantly bickering about, no, we should do it this way. We should do it that way. And after a while, the lady will go, I'm the one that started this thing. This is the way it should run. After a while, he got tired and tendered in his resignation. The reason was very simple. He had capacity, he had experience, he was very useful to the business because he was technical. But there was one slight challenge. They were both not going in the same direction as they should be going. And the first one, intelligence, emotional intelligence, financial intelligence, all of this come together to help out with that person. Now, you need to check their views on seemingly simple things. First one, what's their view about time? Alatunji talked about people thinking that they have all the time in the world. We talked about that not too long ago. But the truth of the matter is, time can be your friend and time can be your enemy. I once spoke to a group of startup CEOs, and one of the advice I gave them, you have a tenure. Operate like you are running a 4-year tenure. If you operate like, because I am the owner and the CEO, I have forever, there are things you will not do in terms of time and speed. The second thing is, what is their view on money? You make small money and the next thing you have upgraded from economy to business class. Our money has come. And then you now suddenly believe that we should be flying around in business class when you probably are not yet there as a business. The third one, what is their view about people? If the answer to these questions do not align with yours, you may be in for a long ride. If their view about people is to just use people, people come, soldier go. No, people are very important. I take people as a very important part of the equation when you are talking about having a partner. They must align with you in terms of how to treat people. They must align with you in terms of the way they focus on people. Not that, oh, that person is just a middle level manager. We have the CEO, so we don't need the HR officer when we have the HR director. Is important. Every single person is important. And all of this put together, the question you should be asking, does the end justify the means? If that is their answer, as long as we get the result, we don't care how you get it. Sorry, your values do not align. It is not the same values as yours. Now, you need to give a bit of focus on one task. How easy is it for them to get work done? Do they focus on the right task? Do they do the right thing at the right time? The second thing, which a lot of organizations and a lot of people have challenges with, in fact, this one is very critical. The organizational climate. Having the wrong partner can heat up your organization unnecessarily. Have you not heard statements like, the orgas are fighting? The orgas are doing politics. And I've also heard statements like, those orgas have decided what to do before they come to the meeting. It shows how aligned they are. How easy do you guys get along? Do you share the same values? Your emotional well-being, is it aligned together? Not somebody who constantly gives you headache, and every time you talk, it's not just about money. It's about an all-round picture. And the third one, fulfillment. Fulfillment around purpose, fulfillment around whether you matter, fulfillment around career and family-oriented person, and you have a partner that is focused on just making money, that is challenged down the road. I can assure you those challenges will show up. It's a matter of time. And then I put this one here. Choose someone you can disagree with. Someone you can disagree with. It is critical. Someone you can disagree with and still be friends with. Someone you can have arguments. I may not like what you said. I may not agree with your thoughts. And based on that, I've seen discussions, I've seen partnership dissolve because both of them had heated arguments and everybody decided to go their way. And you see it every day, especially in the music industry. 1 minute, 2, 3, 4 people, they're in one music group. And then after one hit song, the next thing you know, this one is singing solo, that one is singing solo, and it has broken down into bits and pieces. And they can't even see themselves eye to eye. Have your friend, somebody who can still be your friend, irrespective of the disagreements that you have. And my final set of advice, you need a partner that brings credibility to the business. Because if you have somebody who comes around and next thing, because of that person, they will say that they are not doing business with you. This one, no. Second thing, complement your weakness and temperaments. I put one of the things there. I have somebody called Tayo. Tayo is a techie. He is the commercial side of things. Tayo is reserved and the outgoing one. There is a balance between both. Left to Tayo, he likes to sit with his system, churn out code and do some stuff. Me, I love facing and talking to people. I love interacting with people. So there is a balance. There are times when Tayo will just say, go talk to Sheyi. And there are things that when it comes to the core technology stuff, I push it to Tayo. In 1224, I have partners that do different things because it's a training business. There are partners who handle different sides of the business, whether it's the administrative or the outsourcing side of the business. There are things I don't like doing. There are partners who naturally just handle that. Then your partner should not be somebody who has a personal agenda. Both of you should be on the same page. Please, no yes men. You to do better. Constantly pushes you to be better. And then somebody who's reliable. We want to get A done. And A must be done by the 26th of November. It should be done. Not stories. Not Mary is the mother of Jesus. It should be done. Reliability is very critical. I saw this, I had this 3-4 years ago when I was speaking to an organization about high-performing teams, and it rang a bell for me. Sense of purpose, open communication, trust and mutual respect, building on differences. I've spoken about that, flexibility and adaptability. And the last one, continuous learning. We are constantly learning new things together and finding better ways to make things work. And I put this picture up, what a really team looks like. If you talk of a team that fight each other for one reason or the other, the Avengers do that a lot. But in spite of that, they work in harmony. They find ways to make it work. One person is very techy, one person is very experienced, another person has very super strength. You pull all of this together and you get a winning team. This is what partnership that works looks like. And this man is almost done. That is what is called the balancing act of partnership. Imagine the elephant standing on a balloon ball. That's how partnerships work. So, thank you guys. I am done.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was very, very, very straightforward and powerful. Thank you so much for that. let's have your questions, please, in the comment section across board. I don't know, people on Gist House, you can do audio questioning. Feel free to ask your question. People on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, do the comments asking of question. On Gist House, please, if you want to ask your question, you can come up, stage and make it audio. Other platforms now, we just have you can do that. Yeah, Akali, thank you so much. You have a question. It's a powerful and straightforward presentation. Very powerful. No time. You don't need to be emotional about choosing your partner. So to learn about it doesn't need to be emotional. Thank you so much. You have question? Please, let's ask this question. Okay, let me just be like a midwife for your question. Let me tell you one of those things I've come to realize in Africa. We have a lot of great ideas, especially when it is still with one person. But when it now comes amongst two persons, then the idea that was great suddenly becomes a death trap. You now see somebody wants to send assassin to the other person because of the idea. You now see somebody now breaking of ranks. Hey, come up, stop that. I'm the one that actually brought this idea in. You only brought the this and that. You now begin to see people try to do this and all of that. But you see, from the beginning, both of them or all of them, if there are more than two now, they know each other. They know what each person is, can be up to at any point in time in the journey. But because they just wanted something to happen for ulterior motives, they decided to, take their eyes off certain things. And along the way, you see businesses in Africa being pulled down because of the wrong partnership. Because of the wrong partnership. Please, I want us to ask that question. You have that question in your heart. I want us to ask that question. Our facilitator will be leaving very soon, so ask the question before he leaves. He's ready to answer our questions. Please, Gist House, I'm inviting people to come up to Gist. Please come up Gist. On Facebook, you can do your question in the comment section. We'll see it. On LinkedIn, do your question in the comment section. We're going to see it. Everywhere across board, do something. We are going to see it. Okay. Let me ask a question while we expect more questions to come in. Okay, sir. Now, it gets to a point that maybe certain character or attitude are actually not visible, before prosperity comes into the business. Sometimes you see that somebody, is still behaving well, is behaving like he's a good human being. But when the money start coming in, you now start seeing those behavior. Now, at this point, sometimes it's either there is a separation or there is management of the other person, like you're trying to micromanage and just say, okay, I'll just bear with this person, but down the line, no matter what it is, it's still going to crash somehow, because it's like two drivers driving in opposite direction inside the same vehicle. So but what you advise, should the person who is perceiving the other person as being incorrigible or toxic or not, no longer aligning to the vision of the business, should that person, step out? Now, if this person is stepping out, what are those things that should be done legally for this person to be able to, retain his or her part of the business? And yeah, it's a very big question. I know that the question is bigger than I asked it. Thank you, sir. There's a question already, but go for that one first.
So sometimes some of these things we put a bit of emotions to it, and there are lots of verbal agreements. That's part of the first challenge that we see with some of these things. Clearly define the agreement. It is a 25, 40, 25, and whatever is left kind of agreement. It is a 60, 40 kind of agreement. Is it 60, 40 of what? 60, 40 after expenses have been done, 60, 40 of profit, or 60% of profit will be shared, the remaining 40% will be plowed back into the business. Clearly define it. That's one. Two, what processes have been put in place for the business? A lot of times we wing it. As it comes, we just take it along. Clearly define your process. Fortune changes regularly. Have one thing in common, process. If I want to move from A to B, there is a process for it. If you clearly define that process, it helps. So if there is an agreement, if there is a process in place, it helps to keep things in check. If somebody thinks I should be getting more, then all of you should go back to the negotiating table and renegotiate what is happening. Let me give you a scenario that once happened to me. I have 3 partners on a particular project. There are 4 of us. I am the lead on that project. At some point, I felt I was doing 90% of the work. And one day we had a meeting and I gave everybody a piece of my mind. And one person asked a simple question, Sheyi, so what do you want? It was a simple question, Sheyi, so what do you want? And I thought about it and I said, all I want is the feeling that Sheyi will do it. As simple as that feeling of I am doing everything is, if it had festered and grown, it's a matter of time before I feel I don't need the remaining 3. It's just a matter of time. But because we took time to talk about it and deal with it, we were able to sort it out and we move on. That should be open communication. Everybody should be able to say. That's why I say have a partner that you can disagree with, and still have a friend.
Mm-hmm.
You will disagree. Both of us will not always go in the same direction every time. And it's also one of the things I noted. Direction is key. We can have all the skill sets we want. We can have all the competence we want. But if we are not aligned in terms of direction, all of us will soon go in different directions. I hope I answered you as simply as I can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was a very smart way of trying to.
Yes.
The question is very deep, very deep. I know you just wanted us to have it slightly. So we have another question. How can you invite someone to be a partner? Okay.
So the first thing is do your due diligence. You want to invite someone to be your partner. Why? Why? When? How? Why? When? How? What is the to have a partner? Is it a financial partner? Is it a technical partner? Is it someone that is it a network partner? Somebody who can open doors for you into several places? Is it somebody who's going to invest money in the business? Is it somebody who has skill sets that you don't have as a business? And you bring them in as partners to balance out your business. Maybe you are going into new frontiers and new areas of business, and you need somebody who has some level of technical expertise that you don't have before. It's critical, so you know how to, you look at the why. The second thing is when. Is it a good time for your business to have partners? It may look like it, but when you do a very good review, it may just be time for you to wait and hold on. Then the third thing I mentioned when, I mentioned
When,
why, and the third
why?
one is how. How goes back first to you. Are you a person of value that somebody will want to partner with?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's easy to point fingers and say, oh, I want this person, I do this, I do that. But the truth is, start with you.
Does the person want you?
Does the person want you? Will the person be excited to sit
Mm-hmm.
with you, to do business with you, to do several things with you? If you can answer that question, it's then easy to either reach out through someone, or if there's somebody you have a first-hand relationship with, bring the person in, or if it's someone you need a third party to bring into the picture, you bring in that third party. There are multiple things to this. So most of my partners are people I've known at one time or the other over the years.
Yeah.
They've done one thing or the other. I know the antecedents. I've seen them do several stuff at one time or the other. And there are times when you get a new partner, they have done something with somebody before. You can always reach out to those people and ask questions. It's a simple word called reputation.
Yes, sir.
And reputation precedes you. The second word is another word called perception. So there is your reputation, then there is the perception that people have about you. Whether it is right or wrong is another thing entirely. But there is the perception that this person, every time people want to do business with him, he finds ways to shaft them, he finds ways to cut them off. And that's the perception. And it also is in line with your reputation as a person, which ties into what Minta spoke about earlier, brand presence.
Yeah.
Your name as a person is a brand on its own. What does your brand, what does your name represent? What does your company represent? If they mention Olatunji today, what comes to the hearts and the mind of people? And once you get that brand well sorted out and well positioned, it makes it easy for people to want to partner with you. Now I'm bringing it the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Not just you partnering with people. It makes it easy for people to want to partner with you. I told one of my partners recently, I said, what we are selling is not competence at this level again.
Mm.
Competence is a given. What we are selling now is our integrity and reputation.
Yes, sir.
For a lot of our clients now, it's not so much about whether you can deliver. It's the integrity, it's the reputation of
Reputation.
somebody will do it as you have agreed it to be done. We agreed on this project that when we succeed, you will get 45%. And when the money comes in, your 45% is delivered to you. Not that when the money comes in, that's when somebody begins to remember that, that 45 plenty. Oh. Those are the things that we start selling at a level, and it speaks to your brand as a person, your brand as a business. And with all of that together, partnerships become a bit easier to deal with.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think you took time to answer the second question with the first question.
Cautiously.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, I want us to bring in more questions because this is very important. You know, you can have brilliant ideas. I mean it. I mean, absolutely brilliant ideas. Ideas that are almost immutable. You know, put them there, come back, you still see them, they are still flying. But when you have a wrong person, just a wrong person is enough to bring down whatever idea you have. Even God himself is afraid of having the wrong person as much as he's powerful, he's afraid of saying, okay, let me hand over this, a vision to a wrong person. So let's ask those questions, please. They are very, very important at this point in time.
I have a weird question for you.
Okay, sir.
Have you ever thought about it? What did Satan tell the angels that 1/3 of them followed him?
He promised them, quota.
He must have said something really, really interesting for
Mm-hmm.
1/3 to follow. So the question is, what are we saying to get that kind of thing from people? That kind of followership. What are you saying to get the kind of partner that you are looking for? So you need to communicate effectively for that partnership to work, for that person to be on board with you constantly and consistently.
Very, very correct, sir. Solomon Emmanuel on Gist House, do you have a question? Please, you can speak up. Just unmute your mic and then speak up, please. Please, you have a question. I can't see you, so I don't know if you are attempting to speak up or not. It's your action that will let me know if you want to speak up. The word is waiting on you to hear your question. Okay, I want to assume you do not have a question. Thank you. If you do, let me know by flashing your mic, and I will take you up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want us to have more questions on this, please, because for you now, you are actively on more than 1, 2, 3, at least I think at least 4 that I know now, are companies, and I don't think you are on any of them without a partner.
I am on everyone with a partner.
So it means it's a high level of emotional intelligence, to have been able to relate with different people on different companies, offering different things to different audience. So sometimes, does it get overwhelming? Sometimes you are trying to think about 1224. Sometimes it's O-rings you are trying to think about. Sometimes is it what's that one now? That island one?
Tiesto.
Yeah,
Tiesto.
Kesto. Yeah, Kesto. What's the fourth one now? I've forgotten.
It's called Logic Point, but it's not there.
Okay. So sometimes you're trying to think about this, think about that, and sometimes what you're actually thinking about each of them is not the product, it's the people. The guy in that place. This guy. When you turn your head to this other side, this lady. Different this thing. So how have you been able to? Because in Africa we have that tendency to work together as family. We have that tendency to have this community, this thing. But when it comes to business, as long as money is involved, there's something, that makes things not to go the way it should go.
So the person in Kiesto sits in Ireland, and so sometimes we have communication challenge in terms of distance. We do a lot on WhatsApp calls, and at times we differ on the best way forward. And so one of the things that works for him, for example, is you being able to bring a superior argument. As in terms of facts, figures, and data, he's a logical kind of person. So know the kind of people you are dealing with. Some people see things first from an emotional point of view. For some people, it's about if you can put the facts, figures out, they will back off and say, yes, this is it for me. And there are people that, because they know it is not their area of strength, they defer to your superior judgment. There are things that I will not readily argue about because that person has more competence than I do in that area. And there are things that, because I have a better judgment, I will put it forward. And most times, what happens is they shape that judgment, not necessarily change it, but they shape it to become better. So, oh, let's do it this way. No, I still had an argument this morning with somebody, and it was a heated argument. No, yes, no, this is the way we do it. No, da 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 da. And I said, if you go this way, I will not support it. And we had that argument back and forth. And at some point, it was like the reason why I want to go in this direction is because this. You should have said that since now. Instead of all this argument, you should just have told me this is the reason why you are thinking is this direction. But he came as, I have decided this is what we should do. And I'm like, no, we can't just decide like that. Let's move it in this way. And until he gave me his thought process, I am a thinker and a planner. So that thought process helped me to think of every angle to it. Okay, this makes sense here, but why don't we tweak it a bit like this and make it work like that? Understand the people you are dealing with, irrespective of the business. Most times the fight is not about products. Most times the fight is not even about the company. Most times the fight is about people. We are just wired differently and we want to achieve the same result. The day I understood that framework, that at the end of the day, we all really want to achieve the same thing. Our modus operandi of getting there is what is causing the fight. That really saved me a lot of stress. As in a lot of stress, where I'm like, no, we must do it this way. And that person says no, especially when you have two very pushful people having a discussion. Everybody stands their ground and they are pushing. But when you remember that it's all for the same purpose, not that we have any personal agenda behind it must be done my way or that. No. Yesterday we had a meeting in the office, and for almost 1 hour there was a lot of back and forth over one sentence. I'm serious, one sentence. No, we should remove it, add it, remove it. And at the end of the day, I was the one that proposed that the sentence should be there. At the end of the day, we agreed that we should remove it. And somebody said, we finally won. And I said to the person, so it was about willing or for you. And he said, yeah, so it's about willing. For me, it was about, should we put it there or not? One sentence was a simple sentence we were all arguing about that could frame or change the way business, but that was superior to our argument, and we agreed to take it out. So the thought process for that person was, we must win this one. So that's this thing for me, and that's how it works for me.
So we have a question right on the screen now. With just an idea, how can convince? Okay, how can people? Okay, I think there's an updated. Yeah, with just an idea, how can you convince people to partner with you, especially when you are not a specialist or an expert in that area?
First things first, when you say specialist or expert, the truth of the matter is most times it's not the first thing people consider when you talk about partnership. Before you even get to you considering your technical skills, people consider you first. That's why I asked the question, will you yourself choose you? If I am selling to you, before you hear what I'm selling, you need to buy me first.
Yes.
And if you buy me as a person, every other part of it will align. All of us at some point or the other have done things with people because of the person, not because of the real thing you want to do. Sheyi said we should do this, and because it is Sheyi, I trust his judgment, I trust his integrity, and I trust his actions. And the truth of the matter is, the fact that I am not a specialist should even be a good point for you to join that business. It means that I need help. I acknowledge that I need help. It means that I am truthful enough to say that I am not skilled in this area, I need help. There are things that I've said it, there are things that I don't do. So there are partners that do it easily. There are people who have those skill sets and they make it easy for work to be done. The truth is you cannot be the best at everything.
Yes.
There are people who are good in some things and there are some things that you are good in. Put the two together and you have an unstoppable force. I hope I have answered that question.
Very well, sir. Very well, sir. I also like to get response from the person that asked the question. Please, I know you are still live now. Please respond to that question if the answer has actually met you at the point of your need. Very important. Mind your business. You are the first business. You are the first business, and you must put yourself to mind. If you are unable to see yourself as the first business, remember we talked about business as being a boss, transporting goodness from one point to the other. You are the boss. So if you are unable to take care of yourself, nobody will see you usable to be able to move goodness from one point to the other. So most of the time, I think what we have with people is, they feel like they need to be professional at something, and they are not professional at themselves. At the you of yourself. They are not professional at being a good person, but they are professional at being a doctor, at being an engineer, but they are not good doctors. They are not good engineers. There are a lot of them out there that people don't want to work with. But when people find that it doesn't even matter then, okay, this person is open, is ready, we can do a lot together. Yes, the person is not perfect, but when they see that, okay, this person is ready, okay, we can do things together. And it's not somebody that say, yes, we must not remove that sentence. No, we must leave that sentence here. We must leave it there. Okay, because you wanted to know who will win or not. Okay, we must take it back. No, we must take that sentence back. And that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Uh, okay. I want us to ask more questions. Please let's ask more questions. I'm already okay. Yes, my questions were answered. I think I saw that. Oh, it has not reflected here yet. I saw that already on YouTube. Is watching from YouTube. Okay. Yes, my questions were answered. I didn't see that here. Is here to be updated. Okay, it's updated. Yeah. Yes, my questions are answered. Okay. Beautiful. I'm already seeing this as the last session we're going to be having for this first lab of the conference. And for those of us that are just joining, I want to welcome you. Thank you so much for joining us today. I think the video did not allow me to show my shirt very well. Look at my shirt. Some people, the shirt is fine. Very nice. Let me stand up, sir. Very nice shirt. If you have not gotten a copy, some people have seen their intention to get copies, but they have not gotten the copies yet. The shirt is very, very nice. And uh, who made the chat for us? She's on Gist House. She's listening on Gist House. Vivian Olufuntushe. Yeah, is it Olufuntushe now? Yeah, she gave me this gift. I will not forget to always tell people about it. She gave me this gift when I never expected gifts, from anybody. Yes, I think it was like a birthday gift, but she gave me after the birthday. And yes, I was saying it the other time that is my birthday mate. Yes, for you that don't know. So go and find out the dates. It's a pleasure to share our birthday with a great man.
The easiest way to find out our birthday dates.
That's the easiest way. Oh my God.
Dwayne Johnson is our birthday mate.
I gave the assignment already that they should go and find out everybody that is sharing the same birthday with us. And any of them that does not make sense, they should bring the person. Who baptize the person to make sense. Seriously, I think that day was the day God visited the earth, especially. He just came in person, say, let me visit them, and only few people actually notice. So we were just the reflection of his visit, to the earth, and it's a great pleasure. Yeah. Yes, I don't know if our audience are actually noticing something. You know, um, partnership. We are on a very serious business discussion, but yet we are still able to, you know, laugh in the middle of it. Not because we are cracking jokes, but we are able to, talk certain things that are meaningful, that are, that borders around the things that look immaterial but very important in partnership, in do anything. So some people, I think one of the issues we have is just having it all official. So you get to the office. Hello, how you doing today? Have you finished the file? Have you do this? You don't even ask. How are you doing, young man? How are you? How's your family? You don't even care to ask. Okay, the person as you don't even care to ask, and all of those things are very, very important. Sir, I would not like to take you too much again because I know you've got a lot of things to do. It's a pleasure to have you here today. Okay. Today and tomorrow. Yeah, I've seen your schedule. Don't worry, I've seen it. I know you're very busy. You're very busy. But before you go, sir, I want you to just tell us sometimes, um, to what extent can you go when it comes to, trying to show interest in what matters to your official partner. Let's say official, I mean official, like, okay, you just feel like, okay, it's just office thing. So to what extent should you show interest in, okay, family, their personal life, you know, things that matter to them outside the office work and all of it like that. I know that from your experience, you have known that, oh, don't go this far if at all you want to go. You have met with a lot of people, you have related with a lot of people, founding things together. So you know that, okay, this is where you should stop, even though you want to at all. And this is where you should not even go to at all. So I would like to take that on the final note, sir.
So there are different factors. It's not a one size fits all answer. Factors like gender matter. You are male, she's female, you mean well, and somebody begins to think you are indicating that you want to pack.
Hmm.
If you get the English.
Yes, sir.
So you need to be careful with some of those things. Factors like age matter. Somebody thinks because you are very playful and they begin to forget that there is still a place for respect.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but at the same time, it doesn't stop you from just being kind. Just be kind, be a nice person. Be somebody that people can reach out to beyond work. One of my colleagues in the office was wrongfully, and I use the word wrongfully, stopped by one of our traffic agencies. We know how those things play out.
Yes, sir.
He was wrongfully stopped and he just called me, Mr. Sheyi, I am so, I am arguing with him. He stopped me for this, blah, 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 blah. Are you right? Yes. They stopped like four of us. They are the ones that said we should all go through this route because the other side of the road has been blocked by an accident. So there was an accident on the normal route, and then they diverted them to all follow one way so that they could pass. Then the last set of cars, they arrested them. You know how these things play out.
Yes, sir.
So I had to call one of my wife's family members who's quite senior in one of the agencies. This thing that I'm talking about happened in Festac. The man I called is in Oshodi. He had to send one of his boys with a motorbike to go all the way to Festac to go help him resolve that issue. And because of the person that went there, they were able to release him and let him go on time. And the next thing I knew that it was his wife calling me to say thank you. Not even him. It was his wife calling to say thank you because they were frustrated, they were tired, they had shouting bouts and all that. And then there is one boss that is somewhere sending somebody all the way from Oshodi to on a 30 minutes by bike journey. And we got it resolved. Well, I had at least 15 calls that day. I was calling him, I was calling the person I knew, I was calling the person on the bike, trying, are you there yet? Has this been resolved? And it was a lot of work, but we got it done. And that is how those little things build up, they add up. Somebody's child is in the hospital, you leave work, you go visit, you go with different things, or you even say this is money to help your child pending when the child comes, gets well. Somebody is ill, and you say, take your time off work. What else do you need from me to make sure you are fine? Just be kind. Work. I left Nestle 2008. Now I'm giving you a practical example.
Yes, sir.
One of the closest persons to me today is somebody that we became very good friends in Nestle. Not one, not even two. There are many like that. He'll be burying his father next week. I just went to buy my flight ticket this morning to go for that burial. And this is somebody that I met 15 years ago, about 14, 15 years ago. I have left the company he works for 13 years ago. And that relationship to be flying around late Nigeria to go attend his father's burial. Relationships are key. And relationships, the best relationships happen outside work. The best relationships happen outside work. When somebody sends you an email, even if the person upsets you with his mail, because you have that relationship with that person, it is different from someone you don't have a relationship with. You can even walk up to the person and say, why will you go send me this kind of mail now? In fact, there are people that before you send a mail, you would have been in the mail. I will abuse you in my mail to you so that you get the result. Then yes, I'm going to respond to your mail and I'm going to abuse you in that mail that you did this. And to everybody else, Oga said this. But to the person, he got a heads up. That's based on relationship. There are things that happen because you have that one-on-one relationship with that person. But please, because you want to be nice does not mean that you should be putting wrong signals in the other person's head.
Yes.
A lady is single, and then you say that because you want to be nice, you are driving past and you are visiting at 9:30 p.m. I am begging, please, you are crossing boundaries. Even if you mean well, it can be misinterpreted. The guy is very, very open, a playful, free-spirited person, and then you start bringing his cooler of food to the office. You are the one bringing food for him in his own special cooler from your own house to the office. Please, you need to be careful.
Review
You need
that
to
constitution.
review and revise that constitution and watch it so that somebody will not be thinking that this auntie is nice beyond nice. And when they say clap, is beginning to leave hand and getting to elbow, then problem is about to start. So we need to be cautious and careful on that.
Thank you so much. Boundaries are very, very important when it comes to us building anything great. The first thing about building is there is boundary. You no matter how big you think you want to build something, you will have your own landscape. No matter how big, there must be boundary, and that's very important. There must be boundary. Thank you so much. Um, one question came to my mind as you were answering that one. Can I
Go
ask,
ahead.
sir?
Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Okay, sir.
I
Yeah.
dedicated this afternoon to you. Don't worry.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. I'm looking at. I think sometimes you talked about, okay, opposite gender partnership. Another thing now, intertribal. Now, tribe now, not just within the nation, also outside. Sometimes going out, because this is Africa, and I'm very particular about it. I want us to be able to see that, okay, even from Nigeria to South Africa to Kenya to anywhere, we can actually come together and do something great together. But at certain times, we realize that there are biases, there are sentiments, there are all of these, unwritten, untold stories that have just shaped people's mindset concerning certain things about some people, and they feel like, hey, don't just go to that side. The way it is, in marriage, some people say don't marry from that tribe. Also in business, so some people just feel like you cannot do business with people from this side. What are those things that, because I know now there are certain things we can use to decide who to do business with beyond stories, that, okay, people are doing this, but yet we still have to be able to pay attention to that cultural side of it, because sometimes there are some businesses that no matter who you are partnering with, if you don't pay attention to the cultural side, like something that one of those, as in not even one, some of those big tech companies in the world now, you see them, they are choosing CEOs from India. Me, one of those reasons I see is the figure, the numbers. They know that, okay, when they're able to bring their son, their daughter into the company, they can say, hey, you know what? Our son is there, so let's buy his product. Let's buy their product, and they have the numbers. So, sir.
So I've been privileged to work for a few multinationals. I, when I was working for SAP, there was a business that I had to be flying to Kenya. I went to Kenya like 5, 6 times to do business in Kenya, meeting several people there. Same thing with South Africa and the rest. The truth of the matter is, the more widely traveled you go, the more you become more neutral. The more widely traveled you go, the more you move to the center. You meet people of different cultures, you meet people of different religions, you meet people with different thought process and mindsets, and you're able to deal with people across everything. So one of it comes to exposure. How exposed are you? When we say don't do business with people from this tribe or this culture or this ethnicity, a question I always ask is, how many people from that culture or ethnicity have you met? So that is the simple one that they say that, they say men are so, and the question is, how many men have you met? You met 4 men and you used it to judge 4 billion men. You
Sampling.
met 2 people from a particular country and you used it to judge 40 million of the people from that country. You've not met the entire nation. So a lot of times that is wrong. Two, from an experiential point of view, there is a particular multicultural assessment that I have done several times. And the multicultural assessment is a particular assessment that tells you the best kind of people for you to work with based on your temperament, based on your experience and exposure. And so for somebody who is free-spirited or very flexible, there are countries that you readily work with. For somebody who likes things done in a particular box, there are countries, each country has a framework of cultural speak, that the average way that they do things in each country. You need to be able to understand how it is done in that country. You need to be able to understand why it is done that way. So, for example, if you are dealing with people from Saudi Arabia, if you are a man or if you are a woman, there are different ways of dealing with them. And it is not wrong. It is just their cultural bias based on several factors in line with their religion and in line with the cultural ethos that speaks for them. If you are dealing with people from the average Nigerian is very pushful, is has a hustling spirit, just wants to get things done, and that can sometimes be misinterpreted.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes it is not the other country's fault, it is the Nigerian's fault. Because he just doesn't know that he's being misinterpreted. He just wants to hustle and make it. And in the process, he's very hardworking. A friend of mine was posted to Gambia to go work in Gambia once. It was Gambia, yes. And he will get to work at 7:30. And he'll be wondering, where is everybody? Yes. Because he's used to, you get to work very early, you work late. In fact, there's a particular country that I know that they by 5 o'clock, everybody is out. So if you're Nigerian, it will look very odd to you that 5 o'clock, where is everybody? Because we are used to, if it's not yet 6:37, we just started. We are used to the long walk. If you work with the average Chinese person, by 1 p.m. or Chinese or Spanish person, 1 p.m., they go and observe siesta. As in, they actually bring out bed and they sleep. It was very odd for me the first time I saw it. But that is their way of life. Now you go to Spain, somebody will drive from the office, go to his house to go and sleep. Then for like 30 minutes, then drive back after a break. And like seriously. But that is the way they work. I once saw it in Barcelona and I was like, what are they doing? They are going home to sleep. If you tell the average Nigerian that that is the way that they do it in this country, so you won't fix meetings for that time. You adjust to each country's culture. So the aim is you need to be adaptable and you need to be flexible. The world does not revolve around you. When you're in South Africa, know how they operate there, do things the way they do it there, and make sure that you're able to do business with them in an interesting manner. If you go to Egypt, you do business with them in a different way. Same thing with Ghana down the road. As close as Ghana or Benin Republic is to Nigeria, we do business in very different ways. I once took a taxi in Ghana and the taxi man got to the roundabout and he was waiting. And I got irritated. I'm like, guy, move. What are you waiting for? And he said, I am waiting for my turn. And truthfully, at some point, people waited for him and he passed. We don't do that in Nigeria. You move, and they will wait.
You sleep there.
But that is the way they do it. And if you do that in Nigeria, they won't wait for you. You sleep there. You will move. Then the person you want to hit will slow down. I will stop and you pass. That is our way here. So just understand what works for you.
Thank you so much, sir. I want to take questions from the audience. Please, is anybody there? Just house, is anybody there? Are you ready to ask your question? Please come up, ask your question here. My brother Toby Aminu, thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you actively participating here. You have any question? I'd like you to ask a question. Just ask a question. Yeah, ask a question. It's up to it. So ask a question. Yeah, the world does not revolve. That's a very high opening part of the whole thing. Okay. Please ask your question. Ask your question. Ask your question. Yes, yes. Vivian, they see, yes, that's true. They go home to observe 30 minutes rest. Because home is not far from work.
No, it's
Unlike
not the home
Nigeria.
is not far from work. Oh. They don't have the kind of traffic we have. Oh. That's one. Then there's some Chinese offices I've seen that they even have bed in their office.
Mm.
I've seen a few companies like that. They just shut down between 1 and 2 p.m. So if you know those kind of companies, you don't fix meetings for that time. They will not come. They will not attend those meetings because it is their siesta time. They are the ones that they design siesta for. We don't do siesta in Nigeria. They will call you
Yeah.
lazy.
You are sleeping on duty.
You will be defined as lazy. If you say you want to sleep, we don't do that in Nigeria. It's not part of our culture.
Mm. Mm. So, we must understand that there are differences with
Go ahead,
different
please.
culture. Sir? You said something, sir. I didn't get that.
I said go ahead.
Okay, sir. So we must understand that there are differences, with culture. No matter how close you think you are to that culture, you must understand that the difference is far apart, with your own culture. And yeah, I like the point you started with, that when you are, widely traveled, you become really neutral, because last night you actually ate Chinese soup. 2 nights ago, it was a Spanish, Indomie. So it will get to a point that you won't say, I don't like this food, I don't like that food, because, if you don't like it, you will starve. So you will not be able to, you'll not be able to do well when you say you don't like the way they work here. And you are going to be there for some time. So you have to like it to be able, to fit in and get the result that is deserving from that end. Okay. Vivian, please ask question now. Ask deep question. Very tough one. Hot one. Please. Please ask very tough question. Very tough one. Yes. So all of those things, there are things we need to start to look at now. And yeah, we have talked about, choosing the right partner, business partner, in Africa now. Don't say, hey, this is how they behave in, Swaziland. You don't even care because you have met just one person. And yeah, you talked about something. I would like to have opportunity to see that. You are talking about, okay, something that gives you an expectation, perception kind of people from certain area. Okay, people from Europe, some part of Europe, they are always very organized, this and that. Okay, people from China, they are always handy, they like to do this and all of that. People from America, they are always outspoken, like that. So when you want to choose from any side, you know that, okay, if I need somebody with this kind of traits that is needed for this business to do this and that, where can I go to, and where can I? You're already reading the question. Did you see that question, sir? In Nigeria, I start to prepare to monetize this one. Oh, it's not even a question. I thought it's a question. I said you ask tough question, Vivian, please.
So there are companies that will not allow this to happen. In fact, if you work for a multinational, a lot of really serious multinational, if you don't go on holiday, you are a suspect. If you don't go on holiday, you are considered that something is wrong somewhere. That you are staying back because you want to cover up for things you are doing illegally. There are companies that do
In
that.
the company.
Yes. There are companies that do not, you must go on break. You must take a break. I once had a boss, when he was going on leave, he put his phone and his laptop in his desk and he didn't switch it off. He left the phone in the desk and he traveled. In fact, one of my most interesting bosses is Austrian that I ever had. He goes he's currently on he's currently riding back from Africa to Austria. He goes on a motorcycle when he's on leave. He will travel 5 countries or 6 countries, no phones, no nothing. And he will go on that ride and then come back to when he was in South Africa. Now he's back in Austria and he's currently doing it as I speak. He's
Ah,
riding back now. That's how people go on leave. People go hiking, they leave phone, leave everything, and they ignore if the business want to die, it will die. Because the truth is, whether I'm there or not,
hmm.
they value their health, they value their own life. They leave everything and really go on leave, not working leave.
Thank you, sir. There's a
Yeah,
question now. The
I've
question
seen your question,
is voluminous.
and I will give you a practical experience. Um, when I worked in IBM, I had team members in Dubai, in India, South Africa, Kenya, who were in the same team with me. Dubai works Sunday, UAE works Sunday to Thursday. Nigeria works Monday to Friday. Somebody in Dubai will send me a mail Sunday morning and he will say, I need this document before close of business today. That is on a Sunday, and this man is in church. I will come back from church, open laptop, and start typing
Before the close of business.
before the close of business to be able to meet his time.
Hmm.
One day, I sent a document on a Friday morning, and I also put it there. I need this before close of business. And he didn't respond. He didn't do anything until Sunday morning. And then he wrote it there that we only work Sunday to Thursday here. Now I get the gist. I'm the one that, okay, fine. So I waited, and one day he sent his normal close of business Sunday morning mail.
On Sunday
And I
morning.
didn't touch it until Monday morning. And then he escalated me that I didn't respond to his mail until the next day. And my response was, we go to church on Sunday. I'm telling you, we go to church on Sunday and we don't work Saturday and Sunday in Nigeria. Immediately, my boss, who coordinates all of us, different countries, different religions, and all that, his response to the mail was, everyone should respect the other person's religion and culture. It is unfair to fix a meeting for Friday, 1 o'clock, when you have people who will go for prayer at 1 o'clock in your team. It is not right. Respect the culture of the next person. Respect the religion of the next person. You need to constantly strike a balance between their religion and their culture. There's a balance you need to put to it so that it doesn't look like you are because you are a Christian, you don't care about the Muslim, or because you are a Muslim, you don't care about the Christian or about the Hindu. I've worked in companies that had people in religions I never even heard of. Yes, you see people. By the time you talk religion, when he mentions his religion, Shinzu, name it, different religion, they will tell you how they do their service, what they people who don't eat meat, people who don't eat anything that has blood, and it's part of their religion. Different things. So you need to be able to balance out and accommodate all these people. It's a lot of work, but over time you get used to it, and it helps you as a person as an individual become a better person? Foundationally, just be
Yes.
kind.
Yes.
Just love your neighbor and be good. It's as simple as that.
Thank you so much, sir. We have another question here from DNT Works. Okay.
How do you identify quality team members and burden bearers? So the first thing is is experiential. A lot of these things happen by reason of experience. Some experience are before, some experience are when you get into it. And there are people who will always help you out in different ways in business. There are people who will just be there for you. Sometimes all they just need you to all they just need you to do is talk, and they will help you get things done. The challenge sometimes is that a lot of us keep a lot of things, we internalize a lot of things, and we don't open up. That's the challenge that a lot of people face. We keep so much things inside, and it kills a lot of people inside. And quality team members, quality, what does quality mean to you? It means different things to different people.
Mm-hmm.
Quality may be result, quality may be respect, quality may be loyalty. It means different things to different people until you define what quality means to you. They gave you a target of 200 million, and three people in your team are achieving the 200, and the remaining five are not achieving the 200. Maybe for you, the three people are the quality people. But you forget that the five, two of them are those who generate the ideas that the three people who bring the numbers use. So those two out of the five that you think are not good they are actually quality people. They are ideas people. They are not doers. They are ideas people. They help people fix things. They create solutions that others use to run. So you need to sit down and segment your organization, your team accordingly based on multiple factors. The only factor shouldn't be the results they get in terms of numbers. There are people who stabilize the team. There are people who are even the life of the team. They are the ones that bring fun and joke into the team, that make everybody relaxed. You'll be amazed how those people are therapeutic in nature to the entire seriousness of the organization. It's not every time walk, 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 walk. There are some people who, once they arrive, we will just start laughing. He has come. The troublemaker has come. Yes, you need them. There are those who all they want to do is the number is 100. When we get to 100, we will play. And there are those that whether they play or they don't play, they will do the 100. That's not just some people like that. They will achieve your number. I used to have a challenge with one of my bosses. 15 years ago, yeah. I used to say it that Sheyi, you are too playful. And my response every time to him was, do I achieve my numbers? And he would say yes. And then he would keep quiet. Because he was a very serious person. And I mean a very serious person. When he's in his car, it was punishment for me to be in his vehicle. Because he doesn't listen to radio or to music. He wants peace and quiet. He says he allows him to think. How can I be in a 1 hour drive with you and we're not hearing anything?
I think you're the way.
And you're thinking, what kind of thinking is that one? And I will tell him, you are serious. What works for me is I always used to get my numbers done, but I don't know how to. Everything must be work, work, work. I don't know how to do it. And he didn't get it that time. And it gave us issues with both of us. You're too playful. Yes, I am playful. But I achieved my numbers a bit. Yes. Sorry, no less. That's it.
Okay. Wow. She has come with the question.
So I've seen your question, Vivian. The first thing is whatever you permeates.
Mm.
Whatever you permit grows. Whatever you permit persists. It is first a permission thing. If you do not allow it, it will not. The worst that will happen is you will tell the person to go. You will not accept bullies. Where it becomes trouble is when the bully is actually the CEO. And that's where the biggest problem happens. When the person who calls people names, and that's why you see that those kind of people do not have people who work with them for long. Their staff will constantly be looking for work. And sometimes they will get work with lower pay, but peace of mind. They will leave. They will not stay. So if you have somebody who's constantly bullying, it's a matter of time. And what happens most times is that person will not have long-term relationships. You have people who work for you, but they are not friends with you. And you have people who will not be able to relate with you outside of work. So if you are able to kill it now. If you continue doing this, stop. If you will continue, you are out of here. We will not accept this as our culture. We will not accept this as an organization. I will not accept this as a person. You cannot call people names and stay in whatever organization. As long as I remain, if I'm a senior person in the organization, it's a matter of time, you will be out. You will not may, you will be out. It's a matter of time. We will get you out. And I will not blink about it. Because once it starts with one person, it will grow and others will emulate it as something that is normal. And whatever thing that is abnormal, and then it becomes normal. When something abnormal stays too long, it becomes normal. And you see it as a normal way of life. No, it shouldn't be. Everybody must be respected, and we can play, we can joke, we can have fun. You need to see how Oryx works when we're in the office. Except you consciously tell somebody this is the boss. And I'm saying it open and live here. You should be able to have free hand, play, focus on delivering value. You don't need to bully anybody. You don't need to abuse anybody or call people names. It is wrong. You can see that my voice went up when we started talking about this.
Yes, sir. I had to sit down.
Yes, I don't joke. I seriously do not joke with it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
sir.
I hope
Permeates. That's very deep. You know, somebody is saying very deep. Someone say preach it. Don't worry, we are not in church. He's a bishop anyway. So yeah, but seriously, you know, when the misnomer is allowed, it's now seen as the normal because. And you mentioned something earlier, the atmosphere, the harshness of the atmosphere, or you know, the friendliness of the atmosphere can also be determined by who you allow to step into the atmosphere. You know, if you have the wrong person in the atmosphere will be wrong. And that's very important. You know, a lot of companies now or place of work or everywhere, although they have their bylaws, they have everything like that, but there are norms, unwritten laws that have now turned out to become the culture of the company and even stronger than the actual culture of the company. And sometimes they are negative. You just say, they will tell you that's how we do here. You mean it? That's how we do here. That's how we do here. And before you know it, one person is doing it to you, the other person is doing it to you. Okay, Dr. Charles has a question for you. Yeah. Okay. How do we properly handle gender bias in a male-dominated industry? Oh my God, that question is
Dr.
deep.
Charles, you should be answering this one. You should be answering it yourself.
The question is deep.
So, gender bias. The first thing about gender bias is it's most times it's personal. It starts on a personal level and then it grows. Somebody thinks that if I have women in my team, they will not achieve things like you want. I can comfortably say it that today, Oryx has I think it's 55-45 male to female ratio now. And it was a conscious decision that we made. And I mean a very conscious decision that we were going to employ more women into the organization. It was very, very conscious. It wasn't we had to be deliberate about it. And for you to handle gender bias, it requires you being deliberate about the way things are done. Globally speaking, whether in Nigeria or otherwise, a lot of women are becoming CEOs now, and it's
Yes, yes,
exciting times. A lot of women
yes.
are chairmen of industries, chairmen of banks, chairman of Ginny Rometty just stepped down, I think last year, as the chairman CEO of IBM. She was chairman CEO for almost 10 years. That's several of them. In Nigeria, we have about 7 banks or so that have CEOs or chairmen as women. So it's a deliberate thing that needs to be done. It is for people to decide. Sometimes women are better managers in some instances because they tend to balance things out from an emotional point of view compared to the men who do a lot of things based on logic.
Logics.
So a lot of times women put a balance to this thing. It's a conscious thing, and it starts with the men. And thank God I'm a man talking about it.
Yeah, and you are taking deliberate
It
action.
starts with the men.
Mm-hmm.
If you think, let me say it categorically and blunt about this. If you think a woman cannot do it, you have a problem.
Mm.
Let me be very blunt about it. Anybody, competence has very little to do with gender, first and foremost. It's a deliberate thing for you to say, who is most qualified for this job. I am not bothered whether it is male or female. The person should get the job and get it done. That is the very first thing, and it starts with the men. Not that you want. There's a movie. I can't remember the movie. Whoopi Goldberg did a movie where she disguised herself as a man, and she rose and she was given the Entrepreneur of the Year award in that movie. And after she collected the award, she removed the disguise and showed them that a woman can also make this happen. To make it worse, she wasn't just a woman; she was a black woman. I can't remember the name of the movie by Whoopi Goldberg, but that movie said a lot about take out gender, take out race, just get the right person to do it. Because
Wow.
I've been privileged to work in several places, it helps me to remove a lot of these factors from my thought process. Oh, he's white. Oh, he's black. Oh, he's male. Oh, he's female. No. Can she do the job? What is the pedigree? What is the experience? Does she fit into our culture as a business? If you answer those questions, we are good to go.
Thank you so much. On the eve of the new year of 2021, I released a video, on YouTube. Then 21 things you should look out for in 2021, and one of those things is that we have more female CEOs, in 2021. So when I saw it happening, I was like, okay, it's cool. Sometimes we can be prophet, and seriously, I got something very important from that. And this is the office brings logic for the woman, and nature balances it with emotions. And that's why they have become better off. And nature will balance it with the emotion that is needed. But because she's conscious that, okay, she's the one in charge here, the logic will come in. But at that point that she's trying to pull it too much, do it too much, and nature will come in and say, okay, you know what? Okay, can you see it more clearly from this
Can
angle?
I say the other side of life?
Okay, sir.
I have met women who are in top positions who are way more ruthless than men.
Hmm.
And when you meet women who are on the other extreme, it is not fun. It is a balance. Women are lifesavers. Women are life givers. We need women, as many women in our organization as possible, because they balance things out. They take whatever we have, they multiply it and make it better. But at the same time, we need women to also be conscious, especially if a woman is surrounded by men. There's the tendency for somebody to want. I don't want them to think I can't do it. So the ruthless parts begins to show up.
Hmm.
You are important already. You don't have to prove anything to anybody.
Hmm.
Just get it done, get the work done. We love you just the way you are.
Wow, thank you so much. Somebody is asking who is the speaker. Hey,
It is my friend asking that question. Leave her
I
alone.
know, I know,
Um,
I know. Now that I had to read it.
in fact, I'm coming for you on WhatsApp, so you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We're having good time here, really good time here. Women deliver value always. I'm a huge supporter of women. Yes, MLT, thank you so much. Your contributions have been so lively. Thank you so much. Sister Umfon, how are you doing? She's already said, please forgive me. You are forgiven, you are forgiven, you are forgiven. Oh, maybe you are seeing him differently. You say, she said you look different. I said maybe she's seeing you differently. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I would like us to start rounding off. We have had really nice time today on this session, and really, really interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the king of Africa, the king of human rights. Somebody is saying that. Okay, thank you so much. I think that's from Canada. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Uh, okay, does anybody have any question across board? People here on Gist House, you people, you have the opportunity to even voice your question, but I'm not seeing you come up. Okay, okay, Solomon, you have been up here since you did not talk. You can unmute your mic and ask your question if you want to. Okay. Across board, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Gist House. Do you have question? Even on WhatsApp, yes, you have question. You can send the question to me on WhatsApp. I'm getting a feedback. Okay. Yeah, when is the next live? We are coming here tomorrow for the final round. Today we only have one lap of the conference, and it's been very, very interesting. Like I said earlier, this is the most intentional conference, business conference you're going to have, in times to come, because we do not have speakers or orators. We have doers, people who have experience to share. They are not just people who have gone to school and learned how to speak. They have gone through life and they have experience to share. And that is very typical from all of our conversation all through. Somebody is not just telling you something that, if you can think it, you can do it. If you can do it, you can. No, no, no. We are not here for that. It's real life experience that we are sharing here. And the focus is for us to be able to get the best result possible for Africa. We are here to empower the African business gene. And when I say business, by now, some of us have a grasp of what I mean. It's not just you wanting to bear a title. You just want to say, okay, when they say, what's your name? I say, I am so. I am the CEO of so, and Sons, and Sons Limited International. All of those things, you put the title. Some people, when you don't call all their titles, they will fight with you. You say, why did you
But
use
that's also cultural.
yes, sir.
Yes.
Africa.
No, it's cultural. I had a customer, his title is High Chief. If you call him Chief, he will be upset.
You must put the high.
You must put the high, yes. His title is High Chief, then you call his name. If you call him by just Chief, he will get upset with you. There are chiefs and there are high chiefs. So you are degrading him by calling him Chief.
When he's high.
Yes.
High. So seriously, we have had great time here today, and then we are going to be having another wonderful time tomorrow by 10 a.m. Tomorrow we are going to be having, talent show. A lot of talents do not show up, but we have our celebrity talent today. He has like 2 or 3 events today, and yesterday when we were just following up, I was like, I was not like, thank God we did not choose today for him here, because it has been very difficult for him to manage the time. And Bishop too, I think it's maybe earlier today. I know he has something he has added to earlier today, and maybe later tomorrow too. Thank God, we have this afternoon from him. It's a great pleasure, to have it. And one of those take home that I want us to have from this session is don't look out for the kind of partner that you are not in other people. It's a big scam. If you want good partners and you yourself you are not a good partner in business, hey, it's a big scam. Hey, somebody just type something here. Let me see. I hope this is not a question. Research has shown that 3 things are needed to survive in corporate world: conscientiousness, intelligence, and rationality. For most, so I hope you are reading too. It's a big
I am
note.
reading the episode.
It's a big note, very big note. I'm even unable to see it clearly here on my PC. I have to go mobile. Hi. I hope that is a question so that we can
How
just
does
take
an
it up.
agreeable person make decisions that will be beneficial to him or her without regrets or a feeling of being shortchanged?
Agreeable
In
person.
a way, you are talking about temperaments. There are people that they are non-confrontational people by reason of their temperament, and the person who has a stronger voice gets to always win, even if you don't agree with what the person is saying. That's one of the challenges that come with people who have an agreeable personality. They just want peace to happen and they want peace to reign. And a lot of times, because they don't agree and they don't really agree internally and they go ahead to move along with what has been said, they feel a sense of regret, a sense of, and I didn't accept this, but I just
Yeah.
did it. And it's a
For
temperamental thing
peace
that
to reign.
needs to, yes, for peace to reign. There are people who just want peace. There are people who are not, they will rather sacrifice themselves at the altar of let peace reign than for them to stand their ground and say, no, I don't accept or I don't agree with this for the following reasons. And that in itself can be a problem. and it takes time. It takes a deliberate, conscious effort for you to work on yourself to get some of those things out. It's something that requires a lot of attention that you pay to it, and you begin to tell yourself it's time to speak up. They internalize a lot. They don't say things out. They will just keep quiet and be looking at you. And they will know you are wrong. That's the painful part. They will know you are wrong. They will know they have the best idea, but they will just keep quiet. Oh, I'm tired. My tired is tired. I don't want more stress. That's just their personality, and it can be a problem.
Yeah, because when there are a lot of piling up of issues like that,
So
it gets to a time that
one of the things people like that sometimes do is have a friend or somebody who you can share some of these things with, and that person then becomes your sounding block, and whatever that person says as a sounding block becomes your own way of pushing back. So
very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. These are very deep, thoughts about doing something great, because I think the trend now is you scarcely will find companies or institutions now that are by one person. People are coming together, and it has been a lot of experiment before you eventually find that person or those people to come together with. A lot of scars. You just know that, okay, at this point, let me just do this with these people, because you have had experiences and feel like, hey, can there be any good person, can there be this and all of it like that. So it's a good time here today, and I want to say I have enjoyed myself absolutely. This is the first lap of the Business Mo Conference, empowering the African business gene. We are so blessed to have you come around. You engage, you were in the comment section on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Gist House, all across. Some people even through WhatsApp. I see your comments and all of it like that. Thank you so much. And our speaker right now, he mentioned something at the beginning. Some of us did not hear that he's on top of several companies, and is working almost 90% remotely. And some of us will not hear that one. I know. That was how they did not hear when he was advising some banks. Then some of his friends, top executive in the banks, then before COVID came, that why not buy system for these guys to work from home? They thought that no, it's not wise. And I think, did they pay you for the advice later, sir?
I wish, oh, I wish.
And that's the reality that we have now in our world. It's a great pleasure to have you here, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the time. We do not take any bit of it for granted. You brought a lot of energy, a lot of life to the whole show today, and thank you so much for that. I saw how you were able to cover up for us, from the beginning. You're able to do all of it like that, because our first speaker, she just had to honor being here today. She had some unplanned issues like that came up, and I was just like, okay, let's have you anyhow. We never promised the people that we are going to be the picture they want to see in graphics. We told them we are going to be intentional. We are going to come and give them what they need and not what they want to hear, and all of it like that. So I really appreciate. Yeah, Ayomi Kuleyin. That name is long. It's interesting. Ayomi Kuleyin Aliu. Thank you so much. He's saying a big thank you to you, sir. Thank you so much for that. When you have traveled wide, you would have known a lot of things. Wisdom is just it will just happen as a consequence, of having experience over time. Yeah, over time. Thank you so much, sir, for lending us from the wealth of experience that bits that we can take for now. Vivian, thank you so much for staying all through. It's a pleasure to have you. Vivian will be my co-moderator tomorrow. My co-moderator today, she battled it so well that she could not be here. I don't know what network is with her at her own end, but it's also a pleasure to have her all the same. The attempt was really real. We had tested it earlier, and I don't know, the network can be very funny sometimes. So thank you so much. And Legend Denu, I really wish that you could have, talked to us so well about his perspective of the MuMu, of the business MuMu. I like it when he talks about it. I don't know if the network would better tomorrow, we'll have that session. Okay, there's a long note here from my brother, Toby Aminu. He said, the irony of the matter is this: the bully might be showing some level of candor, emit energy like Henry Frick was to, okay, sorry. Somebody, let me just put it on the screen. I hope it's not a question anyway. It's not a question. So I may not be able to read it all through. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. I want to say thank you to everybody again. I can't stop saying thank you. And then tomorrow, we are going to be having another session by 10 a.m. One of those things that we're unable to have, through this platform is that we could not schedule the event, like ahead of time, like that. So we'll have to do the events again now. So we may not have so many people that will get notified straight away, but definitely, if you are here today, don't forget that we have another session tomorrow morning, and it's going to be the second and the last session tomorrow, and it's going to be very, very mind-blowing, just like today. We have speakers that are coming to come and deal with us certain deep things too that are important, that are actually important, speaking to our team, empowering the African business team. If you have noticed, you realize that these things are actually pinching you from inside, from your gene level. It's not just ephemera. It's not just all those things on the surface. It's coming from inside, and that's why you yourself, you are seeing that yes, he's saying the truth. She said the truth, and all of it like that. Thank you so much. We are still open to your engagement. Engage us through the comment section. Ask your questions. Yes, we can still have another time in the comment section. Your questions can still be answered in the comment section. Our speakers are available. They can see, oh, you actually ask them the question in the comment section, and they can reply you even in the comment section. And anything you need to know about the program today, tomorrow, please ask the question. You can come over the video again and again, watch them, and then it's going to be nice again. Thank you so much. We need to go and relax and refresh and get set for tomorrow. Till that time, remain the best version of yourself, and don't expect something that you're not as good as. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate your time, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I want to make a request. Okay, I'll make it behind the scene. Yes. Yeah, it's actually the slide that you gave us today.
Okay. I will send it to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It will be a good gift for our audience later on. Thank you very much, sir. I want to go now, and it's a pleasure, absolutely, to have us all here. So we are going to be ending the stream now, and okay, for those that are on Gist House, we are going to be ending the audio. Gist House is an app. I'm supporting it because it's not because it's just, I think, first of all, because it's African. Later, I now saw that its quality is giving us a perspective, that we need at this time, and it's making a lot of sense. So sometimes too, we can hear through Gist House, you are able to hear, you're able to listen. You are some people that are camera shy. At least you are not voice shy. You can lend us your voice, and then we can really enjoy ourselves. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys are so lifting, very actually arguments. Thank you. Oh, I didn't get that. Maybe that was not what you wanted to say. Okay, we are good to go now, and I'm going to be ending the stream. The count of 2, 3, no, 3, 2, 1, and go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.